boys, listen up. Come on, come on. Daniels, you got the laundry room detail this week. Johnson, Shapiro, there's some filing for you to do over at the administration building. And Pyle.
Yes, Sergeant.
You're going to be busy for the next few days.
I am?
Yeah, you're going to be picking up some supplies down at the train station for the motor pool. And that's a 3-day job.
The motor pool? Well, lucky me.
Yeah, 3 days work for you and 3 days vacation for me.
Are you going on vacation, Sergeant?
Any day away from you, Pyle, I consider a vacation. All right, you guys, you got your assignments. Now, come on, get with it. Move, move. Pyle, that your footlocker?
Yes, Sergeant.
Footlockers will remain closed except during inspection. You got that?
Yes, Sergeant.
Wait a minute. What's this?
Well, that's my lucky troll doll.
Your what?
My troll doll.
What's it doing in your footlocker?
Well, I like to have it close by me for protection.
For protection? Pyle, you're a U.S. Marine. You've been through boot camp, judo. You can shoot an M1, and you need a troll doll for protection.
And my troll doll protects me against things where a rifle or judo don't do any good at all.
Yeah, like what?
Well, there are all sorts of things happening around us, Sergeant, all the time that we never even see.
Yeah, I know, Pyle. There are all sorts of things happening around you that you don't see, but the rest of us see them, believe me.
You don't understand what I mean, Sergeant Carter. This here good luck troll, well, it's like, you know, a good luck piece. Like some folks have a horseshoe or a rabbit's foot. Well, this here troll protects me from bad things happening.
Give me that. You see? It don't protect you. I just took it away from you. Something bad just happened to you, and your troll didn't protect you.
Well, that's because he ain't my troll anymore. He's your troll now. It won't protect me, but it'll protect you.
When are you going to get it through that thick head of yours? No non-regulation items in the footlocker. A troll is non-regulation. Therefore, it does not belong in your footlocker.
Right, Sergeant, and I'm sorry.
Get rid of it, you hear me?
Right, Sergeant. Sergeant?
What lame brain left that mop down there? Don't tell me, let me guess.
Ain't that a shame, Sergeant? If you'd have held on to this troll for just a few more minutes, that never would have happened. Just 2 more minutes. And
knock it off, Pyle. Get over to the motor pool.
Right, Sergeant.
Give me that.
Oh, Jerry, listen, that worked out very nice. Fellas, come here. I want to talk to you a minute. Now, what I want to get is an establishing shot of the spacecraft just after it's landed, you see. I'm going to get a nice overhead shot from the hill up there looking down. Now, when I wave my arms at you, that means you come out of the spacecraft and you look around. You got it? Now, lay off the beep-beeps. You're going to wear out the batteries. Okay, now, it's a very, very simple scene. All you have to do is come out of the spacecraft and you're very curious and you're looking around. It's the first time you've landed on Earth. You got it? Cut that out. All right, get back in the spacecraft now. Jerry, let's move everything up on the hill, right?
All right, fellas, let's get this stuff out of here. Let's move.
Shazam! Oh, mercy! Can't be, you just can't be.
A flying saucer? Did you hear that, Boyle? Pyle here says he saw a flying saucer.
Well, I didn't see it flying. It was just sitting there. I guess it had just landed.
Oh, uh-huh. And where did it land, Pyle? On a mushroom?
No, Sergeant, it landed way out in this big field.
Oh, I see. And what else did you see?
Well, while I was watching, the door opened and these little bitty men got out. There was 3 of them and they had glass bubbles on their head.
You saw little men, too. I don't suppose you talked to any of them.
No, Sergeant, I thought I'd better get back here and tell you about it. I'd heard about people seeing flying saucers, but I always thought they was just imagining things.
Yeah. Just tell me one thing. Did you get into town and pick up them packages for the motor pool like you were supposed to?
No, Sergeant, when I saw the flying saucer, I thought that I better get...
Just what I thought. Pyle, did you think I'd fall for a dumb story like this?
A story? Don't you believe me, Sergeant? Don't you believe what I just told you?
Oh, sure, I believe you. And I believe they're fairies at the bottom of your gourd. Pyle, do you think I got these stripes without hearing every story in the book from guys who've goofed off, gold-bricked, and pooped out on jobs they were supposed to do? Now, you get back to that Jeep and pick up them packages for the motor pool.
But, Sergeant, what about the flying saucer? What about that?
Pyle!
Shouldn't you report it? Aren't you supposed to report things like that? I read...
Pyle, you've been given an assignment. Now, get out of here.
But, Sergeant...
Out! Flying saucers.
What do you think he saw, Vince? He must have seen something.
I'll tell you what I think he saw. I think he saw a chance for a good excuse after he flaked down under a tree for a little nap. That's what he saw.
Really? You think that's it, Vince?
Sure, that's it. And I gotta admit, it's not a bad story. I mean, if you gotta go for one, you might as well go for a big one. There's one thing about Pyle. He's got some imagination. You should have heard the stuff he was giving me about some troll doll.
Fellas, let's not take any more than 45 minutes for lunch, right? We've still got a lot of work to do and don't wander off too far, right? Now, let's be back on time. See you here in 45 minutes. How did you get that pickup on 11?
All right, that's 45 minutes for lunch. 45.
Want to have some fun? Hey there! Y'all ain't from around here, are you? Are you really from... I mean, you really aren't from... Can I do something for you? Would you like me to take you to my leader or something? Can you say anything? Talk? Make signs? Me, Marine. Who you? Oh, my goodness. I can't understand the thing that you're saying. If you wait right here just a minute, though, I'll try to find somebody that can. Now, you wait right here for just a minute. Right here, and I'll be right back. Wait right back.
Say that again, Pyle. Say what you just said.
I said I talked to them, Sergeant. I asked them where they was from, and I told them who I was and everything.
You did, huh? And did they say anything back, Pyle?
Oh, yeah, they talked a lot.
What did they say?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Well, you said they talked a lot.
They did, but it was in a language I couldn't understand. But that's only natural since they probably come from a long ways away. But they talked. They really talked.
Well, what did it sound like?
Well, I don't know. It didn't sound human at all. It was sort of mechanical.
Yeah? Like what?
Like this. Beep, 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 beep.
They said that, huh?
Oh, yeah, and when I left them, they was just chattering away. I told them I'd go and try to find somebody that could understand them.
What were they saying again?
Beep, 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 beep.
Slower, slower.
Beep, 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 beep.
I just can't make it out. Can you, Boyle? Can you make it out?
You do believe me, don't you, Sergeant? On account of I not only saw him, I heard him. You do believe me, don't you? I saw him. I really saw him. I'm not just making this up. I saw him with my very own eyes. You do believe me, don't you?
Well, to be honest with you, Pyle, I didn't believe you at first. But now I think there's something kind of strange going on.
Oh, good. On account I hadn't picked up that equipment yet.
Oh, well, that's okay. Take your time. You can pick it up on your next trip.
Right.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I'm a little worried.
You don't think it's an excuse anymore?
No, I don't. Once okay, but not twice. You want to know something, Boyle? I'm worried. I think Pyle is seeing things.
You mean hallucinations?
What's that?
Seeing things.
I just said that.
That's the medical term for it.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a medical term for Pyle, too, and I think I better find out what it is. You know what it sounds like to me, Doctor? It sounds to me like Pyle has got hallucinations.
Pardon me?
Seeing things. The medical term for it.
Oh, yes, I get what you mean.
What does it sound like to you, sir?
Well, of course, you realize this is just conversation. I haven't seen Pyle or examined him. I'm just going on what you've reported to me.
Oh, sure. I understand.
Well, first, there's the possibility that he did see something.
You mean a flying saucer?
Well, something, whatever it was.
What's the other possibility?
It's a little more complicated. If he didn't see anything and he's making it all up, it could be he's just trying to get attention. Individual attention from you.
Yeah, but what good is it? He'll just get chewed out for making up a story. He knows
Sergeant, he hasn't thought that far ahead. And besides, chewing out is a form of attention. Better to be yelled at than neglected.
Huh?
In a manner of speaking, you're almost like a father to him. Isn't that what you told him back in boot camp?
Yeah, but that was back in boot camp. He was just a recruit.
And he grew to depend on it.
Oh. Well, what do I do?
Listen to him. Talk to him. Be sympathetic.
Yes, sir?
Try to give him a little more of your time. If he feels you're concerned with him, he may not have to see any more of these things.
Well, what if he does, sir?
Well, then call me.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you for all your help. Sir?
Yes.
Just in case I have to write up a report on this, how do you spell hallucinations?
Shot of you two guys running down the road here. Well, Jerry, where'd this Jeep come from?
The key's in it.
Well, find out who it belongs to and get it out of here. Drive it out of there yourself.
I don't know how you handle one of these things.
I know how to drive him. I'll take it out of there.
Oh, good. Okay, Jerry, I want to go back up the hill and get a setup up there.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, my goodness. They took my Jeep.
Listen to this, Vince. Just listen. Worcester Falls, Kansas. Several farmers here last night reported seeing strange objects in the sky. The most detailed description was given by Cyrus Plunkett, who said something shaped like a banana squash with red lights the size of tomatoes circled his barn for almost half an hour, scaring the chickens half to death. What do you think of that?
I think Cyrus Plunkett and Gomer Pyle are two of a kind.
You mean you don't believe these fellows saw them either? Sarge, there's a story like this in the papers almost every day.
Boyle, will you pardon me? Until one of them things actually lands and they show it on television, I'm gonna have my reservations. Do you mind?
But Sarge, there's just too many of these sightings. They can't all be just people's imaginations.
Then look, Boyle, it stands to reason. If them people went to all that trouble to come from millions of miles away, why didn't they at least stop and say hello?
But Pyle said they did.
And that's another thing. If they're smart enough to do all that, why do they want to stop and talk to Pyle of all people on this earth, huh? Answer me that, huh?
Look, Sarge, don't get me in the middle. I don't know if Pyle saw one or he talked to one. I'm just saying that there are reportings like this in the paper every day.
Sergeant Carter. I'm all out of breath. I run all the way.
Yeah, what is it now, Pyle?
The Jeep. They took the Jeep. One of them took the Jeep and drove right away with it.
They did? Who did, Pyle? Who took the Jeep?
One of them little men. I got out to see if I could find them again. And when I turned around, one of them was driving the Jeep away.
You actually saw one of these little men get in a Jeep and drive away?
I saw him, Sergeant. I saw him with my very own eyes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, that's very interesting, Pyle. Look, why don't you wait outside a minute? I gotta make a phone call.
But, Sergeant Carter, that was government property. Where was he going with it?
I don't know, Pyle. Just wait outside a minute.
I think we ought to go right back out there and comb the entire area.
Oh, yeah, sure. Good idea. Just as soon as I make this phone call, I'll be right with you.
I feel just awful about this, Sergeant. But how was I to know that one of them little men could drive a Jeep?
Well, maybe they have Jeeps up there, too, huh?
You really think so, Sergeant?
Look, Pyle, will you just wait outside?
All right, Sergeant.
What do you think now? Even Cyrus Plunkett never saw one of them get in a Jeep and drive away.
I guess you're right, Vince.
I know I'm right. This kid's in bad shape.
Yes, Sergeant. He what? They did. Well, it seems to me there's only one thing for you to do at this point. Why don't you go out there with him?
Well, all right, if you say so, sir. But what do you think really happened to the Jeep?
I don't know. He might have forgotten where he parked it. Or possibly he deliberately hid it. The whole point is to get you out there with him, it seems to me. So go, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. I'll call you when we get back.
Well, what'd he say, Vince?
He said I should go out there in the woods with Pyle and look around.
What I've been saying all along, see?
Looks like Pyle's in for a few sessions with the doc.
No kidding.
Hallucinations.
What?
Seeing things, don't you know? Okay, Pyle. Come on, let's go. You drive. Take us out where you left the Jeep. I mean, where those little men stole the Jeep.
Sergeant, before we go, could I ask you something?
What, Pyle?
Well, I get the feeling that you don't believe me. Am I right, Sergeant?
What do you mean, Pyle?
Well, from the sound of your voice, you sound like you don't believe me about the Jeep. And that means you don't believe me about the flying saucers or the little men either.
Well, it is kind of strange. The whole story. Don't you agree?
But do you believe me, Sergeant?
Oh, well,
Well, I sure hope so, 'cause I never have lied to you, Sergeant. I never have lied to you as long as I've known you, since I've been a Marine. And I never will either.
Come on, Pyle, let's get started.
And cut. Okay, that was fine, people. Okay for everybody here? All right, then, that'll do it.
All right, that's a wrap. We're all through here, folks. Let's start getting the stuff in the truck. What about the Jeep?
Oh, I forgot about that. Have somebody drive it up on the road where we found it.
Right. Driver, you gotta drive on that Jeep.
There it is, Sergeant. I just don't understand it. It's right where I left it.
Yeah, there it is, all right.
Well, I just don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. It wasn't here the last time I was here. I mean, I parked it here, and then it was gone. I mean, it was here, and then it wasn't here.
Yeah, Pyle.
I went right down here behind those bushes to have a look, and when I turned around, one of those little men was driving it off. Hey, maybe they're still down there.
Are you sure you were wearing your watch while we were having lunch?
Yeah.
There they are. There they are. Sergeant Carter, they're here. Hey, fellas, would you wait here just 1 minute? It's real important. I mean, no go. You stay. I come back. Sergeant Carter. Sergeant Carter. Come quick. They're right over in there, and I told them to wait, so come on, hurry.
Look, Pyle.
Please, Sergeant, they may go away again, so please, come on, hurry.
I don't know, maybe I didn't have it when we were having lunch.
Hey, Russ, maybe you dropped it getting off the truck.
Hey, maybe I did. Come on, let's go look.
Right up here, Sergeant. They're right up here. Hey, fellers! Fellers! Boys! Little man! They were right here, Sergeant, right here on this spot. I saw them, I really did.
Pyle. Listen, Pyle, I want to talk to you.
About what, Sergeant?
Do you feel I've been neglecting you lately? I mean, not paying enough attention to you?
Well, no, Sergeant.
I know I don't see you as much as I did in boot camp, but I want you to know that I think about you a lot.
Well, I think about you a lot, too, Sergeant.
Well, that's good. Anyway, I want you to know that whatever happens to you from now on and wherever you may go, my thoughts will go with you.
Go? But I'm not going anywhere.
Well, that's a matter of opinion, Pyle. In any case, I want you to know that if I've ignored you, I'm sorry. Now, why don't you just drive back to the base? I'll take the other Jeep.
But aren't we going to go look for those little men anymore, Sergeant?
No, I know where the little men are, Pyle.
You do? Where?
Well, you get the Jeep back to the barracks and wait for me, and then we'll go over and see someone who knows all about the little men.
Who's that, Sergeant?
Well, we'll just pay a visit to sick bay, and then you can have a talk.
Sick bay? You said you believe me, Sergeant, and you don't. You think everything I've told you's a story, don't you?
Please, Pyle. I believe that you think you saw someone. That's why we got to go over to sick bay, and you got to talk to the doc.
You don't believe me. You really don't believe me.
Well, that's what the doctors are there for. I mean, when a guy starts seeing things...
You don't believe that I saw those little men just now or any time?
Well, that's not important, whether I believe you or not.
I just want you to know one thing, Sergeant. I didn't lie to you, and I never will.
Pyle?
To see a watch, did you? I think I lost it someplace around here.
Hey, Russ! I found it! I found it! Here it is!
Great! Where'd you find it?
Well, how about it? We can't wait any longer. What is it with you people anyway? Two of you looking for a watch? One of you sacked out of sleep someplace? Come on, get in the bus.
Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You guys been here all day? You making a movie?
Yeah, that's right.
A movie about space and flying saucers and everything?
That's right. Hey, look, buddy, I gotta go.
Listen, am I glad to see you?
Yeah?
Yeah! He saw him. He really did see him. That's it. So what you saw, Pyle, was just some guys making a movie, that's all.
For gosh sake, Sergeant, that sure relieves my mind. A movie, think of that.
Well, if you had any brains, Pyle, you'd have known immediately that's what it was. I mean, things like that always have a logical explanation.
You knew right away, huh, Sergeant?
Of course, the minute I laid eyes on it.
Boy, it sure looks like the real thing to me. But the main thing is that you know that I wasn't lying to you. That's all I care about.
Yeah, but you did the right thing coming to me right off and telling me about it. You should never be afraid to come to me and tell me about anything that bothers you. If you can't figure it out, I'll help you with it. Will you remember that?
I sure am glad to hear you say that, Sergeant, 'cause there is something I was afraid to tell you.
Yeah, what is it?
Well, you won't be angry with me, will you?
Of course not. You heard what I just said.
And you will believe me, won't you, Sergeant?
I'll believe you. What is it?
Well, last night, right before I went to sleep, there was the funniest noise coming from underneath the barracks. And since you took my troll doll, I hate to think what it is. Do you think that underneath the barracks we might...
Knock it off, Pyle. Get back to work and finish some windows. Move it. All the dumb, lame-brained ideas. Now, remember, Boyle, it's Saturday. Them requisitions got to be over at supply before noon.
Don't worry about a thing, Sarge. Just have yourself a nice, relaxed weekend of fishing. Everything here will be fine.
So long, Sergeant. And I hope you catch one that big.
Well, are they on vacation? What's with a ball playing?
Well, they're on liberty, Vince. I guess they'd rather fool around than take off.
Yeah. Well, most important of all, keep your eye on my car every minute. Make sure this idiot doesn't scrape me when he pulls out.
I got it. I got it. I'm sorry, Sergeant. I guess I got flung too hard.
You guys denting my hood, I'm gonna dent your skulls.
Don't worry, Sergeant. It's just an old soft tennis ball.
Beat it. What is this, a playground?
Well, we are on liberty, and we...
Then get out of here before I give you something to do. Go on, blow. Now, look. Keep the key in the desk. If the sun gets too hot, move the car over to the other lot where it's shadier. And don't forget to wipe your feet before you get in.
Hey, Sergeant, if you'd like me to, I'll wash your car for you while you're gone.
Are you still here?
Can I wash it, can I?
You don't need washing.
Well, it's bound to get dusty, and I could just take a rag and whoosh over it.
No.
But it'd be no trouble at all. Besides, we're on cleaning detail anyhow, and the
You're
car
on cleaning
wouldn't...
detail? Why aren't you cleaning the duty hut?
We did.
Do it again.
Well, all right, Sergeant. I hope you have a good time, and I hope you catch a fish that...
Now! Don't forget them requisitions. You gotta fill out the morning report and the furlough papers for Medwin. And don't forget to tell Sergeant Singer.
I've got to get over to supply. You guys stay with it and grab the phone if it rings.
Right, Corporal.
If you hadn't opened your big mouth, Gomer, we wouldn't be doing this again.
Well, I don't mind, do you? You do a job the second time, and you see how far from perfect it really is. Duty Hut, PFC Gomer Pyle speaking. Hey, Miss Bunny, how are you? No, Sergeant Carter's not here. He's gone off for a wonderful weekend of fishing.
He's gone off fishing? But he can't. He's got all the things I collected for the charity bazaar right in the trunk of his car. He was supposed to deliver them this morning.
Well, Miss Bunny, the car's right here.
Oh, what good is that gonna do me? And after I knocked myself out collecting stuff from every house and store in the neighborhood.
Well, he'll be back Monday, and I'm sure he'll call you first thing.
Yeah? Well, I'm not so sure I'll be here for his call, Monday or the day after.
Now, wait a minute, Miss Bunny. You say the things are in the sergeant's car? Well, he left the key here. I heard him tell Corporal Boyle. Yeah, here it is. And they're supposed to be delivered where? To the corner at 4th and Main. Oh, yeah, I know that building. In the basement, you say.
Oh, if you can do this, I can't tell you what a lifesaver you'll be.
Now, don't you worry, Miss Bunny. All those things will get there right on time. Absolutely. You just leave it to me.
Gomer, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to take the sergeant's car and deliver those things to the rummage sale.
Gomer, no.
Well, it's for a good cause to you. And Sergeant Carter did promise Miss Bunny, and she's his best girl, and he wouldn't want her mad at him. I know in a case like this, he'd want me to drive his car.
Drive it, Gomer. He won't even let you wash it. No, Gomer, wait a minute. You're not serious this time. Oh, no, this is the craziest thing you've ever done. You can't be serious. Think, Gomer, think. This is the sergeant's car. You're taking his car in without his permission.
But, dear, I'm doing it for him. I'm not just taking this car for my own pleasure. Now, stop worrying.
Well, I am worried. This is the way it always starts. Somebody gets into trouble, you've got to help them. Mr. Fix-It. You always got to go around helping
Boy,
people.
she sure got a lot of nice donations, didn't she? Look
Gomer.
at that. Candlesticks and silverware and teapots.
Gomer, listen to me. Please don't do it. Please do not take the car.
You'll see, Duke. When Sergeant Carter gets back and hears about this, he'll shake my hand.
Oh, yeah, he'll shake your hand, all right. He'll shake your hand until it comes off. Gomer, this is dynamite.
I'm all set now. It won't take me but a minute to change my uniform.
Gomer, you're making a mistake taking the car. What if something happens?
Nothing's gonna happen. I'll be there and back before you know it.
Company B, PFC Slater. Oh, hi, Corporal Boyle. Fine, everything's fine. Oh, you'll be stuck over at Supply a little longer? Yeah, well, there's no problem here. It's been real quiet the last hour or so. Everything quiet and under control. Well, hi, Gomer. Huh? Oh, Pyle just walked in. He went over to pick up some polish. Okay. What happened? Did you deliver the stuff?
Well, Duke,
What's that?
it's the car key.
Where's the car?
I couldn't help it, Duke. It was just a little accident.
Accident? Accident? Is that what you said, Gomer? An accident? Tell me about it. Everything.
Well, I don't remember everything. I guess it'll all be in the lawyer's letter.
Lawyer's letter?
That's what the police said.
Police?
Yeah, they were there to keep the crowd back.
Crowd?
There's always a crowd.
Oh. All right. Now start all over. Exactly what happened?
Well, I couldn't get the brakes to work, and I went through a red light.
You did?
It was on the back of a truck. There was hardly any damage to the truck. The car's a mess.
Oh. Where did it happen?
Well, at the corner where Canyon and Beacon meet.
Canyon and Beacon? Canyon and Beacon don't meet. There's a fence there. Canyon's not a through street.
It is now. But it really wasn't my fault, Duke. I was going down this hill, and I went to put on the brakes, and there wasn't any. And there was this truck there. I just couldn't help it.
Did I tell you? Can you imagine what's going to happen around here Monday morning when Carter gets back? And you're not going to be the only one that's going to catch it. I'm going to get it, too.
Well, why you, Duke?
Why? Because I didn't stop you. I was right here, and I didn't stop you.
But you had nothing to do with it, Duke. It was all my idea.
Gomer, that won't be good enough for the Sarge. He'll want to know why I didn't take a rifle and stop you, or why I didn't throw myself under the wheels of the car. Oh, Monday's going to be a great day, all right. I can just hear the sergeant. He's going to come out and... Wait a minute. Monday, the Sarge's not due back till Monday. We still have a chance if we can get the car fixed before then. Where is it?
Well, the tow truck took it to the garage.
All right. Get over there and tell them to work day and night if they have to, but that car's got to be fixed right away. Now, look. Go tell them at the garage to fix it and get it back here real early Monday. With any luck, Carter may never know a thing. And give me that key. Now, come on, get going.
Oil inside? What's the matter with you?
Nothing, Sarge, nothing at all. Corporal Boyle's over at Supply. What are you doing back, Sarge?
I remembered something I had to do.
But you're definitely leaving, right?
Yeah, I'm leaving. What are you so anxious for, Slater?
Anxious? Me? Oh, I'm not anxious. I just hate to see you get a late start on your weekend, that's all.
Well, forget about it. Who moved my car?
What car?
The car parked in the lot, Charterhead. What car? My car.
Isn't it there?
If it was there, would I be asking you, where is it?
Well, no need to get upset, Sarge. It'll turn up. Whoever took it's bound to bring it back.
What do you mean, took it?
Well, maybe you mislaid it.
Mislaid? A car?
Happens.
The car was definitely there. You saw it.
Well, maybe somebody took it by mistake. Yeah, that's it, an honest mistake. It's possible. You know cars, they all look alike.
Just get over to the barracks and see if anyone there's seen it. Go on. Come on, move.
Vince, what are you doing back?
You moved my car?
Oh, I just put the keys in the desk. Why, anything wrong?
Huh? Oh, yeah. I almost drove off and forgot I got a whole trunk full of stuff to deliver some charity bazaar for Bunny. Boy, she'd really hand me my head if I'd have gone off and forgotten it. You say you left the key in the desk?
Top drawer. I put it there right after you left.
Still here.
Now, what's up?
My car's gone.
Your car's gone and the key's still here?
You didn't move it. The key's here. Then why would my car be... It's stolen.
Stolen?
Sure. Yeah. If you were a crook and came on the base, which car would you take, huh? Persky's, Denov's? No, you'd steal the best one, mine. It all adds up. The crook jumped the wires and just took off. And with all that stuff of Bunny's in the trunk.
What are you doing?
You'll see. Give me the police.
Look, Vince, don't you think you ought to wait a little
For
bit?
what? Give the crook more time to get away? This way they may nab him before he gets out of town. Let the police get right on it. Hello, police? I want to report a stolen car.
Yeah. Oh, you did it. Yeah, you really did it. Boy, how come you didn't get hurt? Oh, you bang up a car like this and you usually don't walk away from it.
Well, I don't understand it. I just don't understand what happened to the brakes.
Are you sure you're okay? Maybe you got a concussion. You sound like you got a concussion.
No, I'm all right, but what about the car?
Oh, boy, you did it. You really did it.
But it was just an ordinary collision.
Maybe for you ordinary, but for us, it ain't every day we have to fish knives and forks out of a transmission.
I was delivering some silverware.
Oh, boy, you did it. Look at here. Look. It was hanging by a thread. You'll have to have a new one.
Oh, my.
Let's see, this will take about 4 or 5 days.
But I've got to have it back no later than Monday morning. It's a matter of life or death.
Look, kid, you have any idea how much labor goes into a job like this? Take a guess how many guys are going to be working on this car.
Well,
No, go ahead, take a guess.
But I don't...
And it's Saturday. The parts places are all closed.
Well, what am I going to do? Monday's my deadline.
You too? Here's a deadline. There's a deadline. Everybody's got a deadline. Do you know how many cars I got piled up with a deadline? Take a guess how many cars I got piled up with deadlines.
Well,
No, go ahead. Take a guess.
I don't know, and I wouldn't ask you to do this unless it was an emergency, but I've just got to have that car back. It's very important. Please, sir.
Well, seeing as you're a serviceman and all, and if I put a full crew on and ask the others to do it as a special favor, okay, kid, you'll have it.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Now, it's going to take a little bit of doing,
Hey,
but...
Charlie.
Oh, hiya, Fred. What's cooking?
Got a report on a stolen car. We're checking all the garages in case they try to get a quick paint job. Oh, you in the middle of something?
Oh, no, that's all right. Go ahead. That's more important. A stolen car.
Yeah, it belongs to a Marine, too.
A Marine? Well, ain't that a shame?
Well, kid, we'll get to work on this right away. Here's my card. You better take a few.
Okay, I'll get the rest of the things out of the car.
Okay. What kind of a car was it, Fred?
Well, it's a two-tone 59 Dodge sedan, license JIE 137.
Well, hope you catch the crook.
I think I just did.
So it was all a mistake, huh?
Yes, sir. It was just a little mix-up, and if you'll let me call Miss Bunny Olson, she'll tell you.
Okay, we'll get to her all right, but first you. Let's start from the beginning. All right, you woke up this morning, went to your wallet, and it was empty.
I don't have a wallet. It makes the pockets bulge. It ruins the look of a uniform. See how flat this is? So with this back here, you know where I keep my money? Right there.
Very good. Still, it would be nice to have that sock full of money, wouldn't it? Sure. You look at the fellas on the outside living it up, and of course, the paying the service isn't really enough.
Pays fine, Sergeant. $97.50 a month. Fact is, I save most of my salary.
Then how do you explain the stolen car?
I told you I didn't steal it. I was just using it
You was just using it.
to help out Miss Bunny. Why can't we call her?
But the owner of this car is a Sergeant Vincent Carter.
I was helping him out, too.
Oh, that's wonderful. What this world needs is more people to help others like this. Let's see what he's got in the bag.
Sergeant, if you listen for just a minute, I can explain the whole thing. I never stole anything in my whole life. You can ask any of my buddies. If it's one thing I respect, it's other people's property.
Just using it.
No, sir. You see, all this was going to be sold. You can ask Miss Bunny. She's the one that got all these things.
She did, huh?
Uh-huh. Would you believe that Miss Bunny got something from most every house and shop in this town?
That's so.
Yes, sir. She's a real hard worker, night and day.
All right, where do we find this bunny?
Miss Bunny Olson, 341 Riverdale Avenue. She can straighten this whole thing out right away.
Okay, pick her up. You know, she's got to be the brains of this mob.
Mob? But, Sergeant, you don't understand.
Sit down.
But...
Sit down.
Relax, Vince.
Relax. I'll relax when I get my car back. I don't understand you, Boyle. I asked you to watch my car, didn't I?
I couldn't watch it every second, Vince. I had work to do.
Well? Well?
No trace of it, Sarge.
Did you check the front gate?
Well, no,
I can't trust you to do anything, Slater. Boyle, do me a favor, will you?
Sure thing, Vince.
Oh.
Sarge, I don't think it was stolen. Why don't you just forget about it and go on your fishing trip? And I'm sure it'll be back no later than Monday morning, just like it was when you left it.
You'll forgive me if I don't share your confidence. Forget about it, he says. It was right out there where everybody could see it. Get that, will you?
Company BPFC Slater. That's right. What? You found the car? That's impossible.
They found it? Where? The boy, those police sure work fast.
You told the police, Sarge?
Naturally, I told the police. Who do you think you're talking to?
Is this the police? You say you caught the guy who did it?
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, Sarge is here. Tell him what?
What? Tell me what?
The suspect says he was just borrowing the car.
Tell him it's a likely story.
He says it's a likely story. Now they want to know if you're sure it was stolen.
What else? Of course it was stolen. Positively and definitely.
He says maybe.
Give me that. Hello, this is Sergeant Carter. Yeah? Good. I'll be right down to press charges. I want whoever's responsible for this behind bars. Right.
Sarge, can I go with you?
Sure, come on. Watch a creep get the book thrown at him.
Sarge?
Huh?
Why don't you sit down over there? You're kind of upset. I'll go check and find out if there's
I'll do my own check. I'm not upset. I just want to get my hands on the guy who took my car. Now, where do we find out where they're holding him? Officer.
For the 100th time, we haven't done anything wrong. This is ridiculous.
Lady, let me see if I follow you. These were in a car that don't belong to you. He took the car and it don't belong to him. Now, this stuff came from every house and store in town, but nothing was stolen.
Now you've got it.
These are donations for a charity bazaar, and he borrowed the car to deliver them.
Duke. Boy, am I glad to see you.
Bunny, what are you doing here?
They're holding us. They think we stole the car.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of.
Oh, boy, what a mess. I gotta get you out of here, and fast.
Sergeant, he can explain it all to you.
How did you get in here? And how can you explain it all?
You can let these people go, officer. It's all a mix-up. The car wasn't stolen at all.
Oh, the car wasn't stolen?
No, I just let him borrow it.
See, I told you, Sergeant.
Oh, then you're the owner of the car, huh?
Oh, not exactly. I just let him have the key.
You don't own the car, but you had the key, and you let him borrow it.
Right.
And the car wasn't stolen?
No.
Then why did the owner, Sergeant Carter, report it?
Carter? He reported it stolen?
Yeah.
I'll kill him.
Later I find Sergeant Welby. Slater, what did you... Pyle, Bunny, how...
Don't you speak to me.
What did I do? What? What's going on here?
Look, Sergeant, there seems to be a little confusion about this car of yours. Now, let's clear it up. Was the car stolen or wasn't it?
Of course it was stolen. And before we go any further, I have a request. I'd like 2 minutes alone with the thief. Where is he?
Right there.
Huh?
Hey, Sergeant.
Pyle? He took it?
Yeah. Now, sign this form pressing charges.
Pressing charges? Oh, no, I don't want him in jail. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. When I get my hands on...
You be quiet and listen.
Huh?
He didn't steal anything. He was doing you a favor.
Miss Bunny called and told me how you were supposed to deliver all these things over to her place.
He was doing your job. He was afraid I'd be angry with you. This whole thing would never have happened if you'd have delivered those things like you promised.
Well, you can't blame me for being upset. It's my car. You had no right taking it without my permission.
Oh, you don't appreciate anything that's done for you.
I don't appreciate. What do you mean I don't?
If you were
Wait a minute! Are you gonna press charges or aren't you?
Well, I guess not. After all, there was no harm really done.
No. Have you seen your car yet?
No, why?
Yo, Gomer, why don't you grab a bag here? We better hurry, Sarge. You're gonna be late.
Where's my car?
Come on.
Where's my
Let's
car?
go, you guys. Come on, Bunny.
Where's
Come on, Sarge.
Where's my car?
Everybody ready to go? Okay.
It was nice meeting you.
My car.
Taxi!
Where's my car?
Taxi!
What are you calling a taxi for? Where's my car?
Oh, why am I calling a taxi? Well, your car's over police lockup, Sarge, and with all that red tape, it'll take hours before you can get it out, and I don't want you to be late meeting Kowalski.
And you know what else? You owe us all an apology, especially Gomer.
An apology?
Yeah, for getting us into this mess by calling the police.
My car was missing. What would you do? Okay, so I know my car is all right and everything's fine.
Some apology.
Well, all's well that ends well, right, Sergeant? Oh, Pyle. Hey there. Hey, Duke, it's the mechanic.
What mechanic?
Pyle, I was in the station to find out if it's okay to go ahead and fix the car.
Fix the car? What car you fixing?
Let's go, Sarge. We're going to be late.
Wait a minute. What car?
It's no use, Duke. We should have told the sergeant the truth in the first place. There was a little accident, Sergeant, and that's the reason that your car's not here.
An accident? My car?
We wanted to get it fixed up good as new before you got back.
How much is the damage?
Guess. Take a little guess how much.
Look,
No, go ahead. Guess.
A new fender? Headlights? Bumper? Radiator? Windshield?
I couldn't help it, Sergeant. The brakes give out.
Well, there was a leak in the hydraulic system. The fitting fell off, and it went just like that. You know, it's a good thing he was going slow. If somebody was speeding in that car, could have been bad. Could have got killed. So considering everything, I think you got off pretty easy. It'll all come to about $350. You got insurance?
Yeah, I got insurance. How about you, Pyle? You got insurance?
Well, I don't have a car.
I mean life insurance. Because when I get through with you, you're going to be in worse shape than the car. I'm going to take you...
Vance! Didn't you hear what the man said? If you'd have been driving, you could have gotten killed.
Did you hear how much it's going to cost?
Did you hear what else he said? Killed, Vince. Killed.
$350.
Killed. Gomer saved your life. On top of trying to do you a favor, he saved your life.
Well, what are we standing around for? I got a 3 o'clock date with Kowalski. Come on, let's get going.
Huh? Guess how long it's going to take to fix your car, Sergeant? Go ahead, take a guess. Go on, take a guess.
Hi, Boyle.
Hey, hi, Vince. Hey, how'd the weekend go?
Great, great. My car been delivered yet?
Pyle went to pick it up an hour ago.
Pyle? I thought the mechanic was going to bring it back.
Well, he phoned. He was shorthanded this morning, so Pyle went to pick it up. He should be back any minute.
Oh.
So, you had a good time in spite of everything, huh?
Yeah, the two of us went way up. Trash cans fell off the truck. It's Pyle. He's back.
Well, there she is, Sergeant. Good as new.
Yeah, good as new.
I'm sorry it took me so long, but I drove real slow and real careful like. I hope you wasn't worried.
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Pyle. I was a little. I always get a little nervous when somebody else is driving my car. Come on, get out, Pyle. Let me park.
Oh, I can park it.
No, Pyle. You better let me. Nobody can handle this baby like I can. Yes, sir.
Okay, Vince, I'm in.
I'll see it.
Come on, Carter, deal him like you knew how.
Listen to the Maharaja of the mess hall. How many cards?
I'll take 3.
Give me 2.
And I'll play these. Cost you 2 clams to see 'em.
Okay, Vince, I'll keep you honest.
That's it for me.
Read 'em and weep, sucker. 2 pair, aces and jacks.
Not so fast, sport. I got 15.
What?
3 little 5s.
Looks like he outdrew you, Sarge.
You should only have such luck with your chow hacker. We'd be eating like kings.
I don't know about my chow, but I just cooked your goose. Cooked this goose.
Hey, Sergeant, I got it.
Huh?
Don't you remember? You told me to stop by and pick up your uniform at the dry cleaners.
Dry cleaners? He's already been taken to the cleaners, haven't you, Vince?
Okay, Pyle, just hang in the locker. Wait a minute, let's see what kind of work they did. Oh, that's not my uniform. That's skirt. It's a woman's.
Why don't you try it on, Vince? Maybe it'll change your luck.
Can't you ever do anything right? I gave you a simple little job. Go over to the cleaners and pick up my uniform. Was that too much for that peanut brain of yours to absorb?
Well, I'm sorry about that, Sergeant, but it said Sergeant Carter on the bill.
It did? Where? You're right, Pyle, it did. It says Carter, all right. Sergeant Gloria Carter.
Well, I'll be. Gloria Carter. Well, I'm sorry, Sergeant.
Knock it off, Pyle. Just double time over to that dry cleaners and pick up my uniform. Now, is that clear, or should I write it down? Go!
Right, Sergeant. I can't imagine how a mistake like that happened. Imagine me...
Move! All the nitwits. You know, I used to have plans of being a 30-year man. But with a guy like Pyle in my outfit, I don't know. Any day now, any day.
Yeah. Well, as my old mess sergeant used to say, no matter how you stir the pot, you only get out of it what you put into it.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean?
What's it supposed to mean? Well, I was just saying a guy like Pyle needs special attention, and he's just not getting it. Can you open, Boyle?
Hold on, Hacker. What kind of attention ain't he getting?
What kind? Understanding. You know, a guy that knows how to work with him. And it's just possible, Vince, that you don't know how to handle him. And can you open?
I don't know how to handle him. Well, what are you hitting at, Hacker? That you know how to handle him?
Well, I've had guys like Pyle in my mess hall. Some even worse. I remember one bird brain, he couldn't even handle a can opener. But I worked with him, gave him a little encouragement, and then within 1 week, he was able to prepare a meal for the whole company.
Well, what do you know, Boyle? We got a miracle worker sitting here, a regular miracle worker.
Can we play?
And what are you suggesting, Hacker? That you can work a miracle with Pyle, too?
No miracle, Vince. Just the right approach. You see, the trouble with you is you have no tact.
I got no what?
Tact. You see, the difference between us is that I have feelings for human beings. And let's face it, Vince, you don't. As a matter of fact, sometimes you are downright crude.
Crude? Who are you calling crude?
You, I'm calling you crude.
Fellas, please, can we play?
You know what I ought to do? I ought to turn him over to you. That's right, you got all that tact and feeling for people. I ought to give him to you as a present.
Why don't you? I couldn't do any worse for them than you had.
Okay, he's yours. And while we're at it, suppose we put a little bet on it.
A bet? Who said anything about a bet?
Well, you're the big genius that took some goof up and had him turn out a meal. There's no reason you can't do the same thing with Pyle, is there?
Pyle? Cook a meal?
Hey, he's pretty big with the talk, ain't he, Boyle, huh? But when it comes to putting up the dough...
Okay, I'll do it. I did it with one knucklehead, I can do it with another.
You mean you're gonna take Pyle on?
Yeah, I'll take him on, just to prove something to you, Vince.
Okay, how much?
You tell me.
Well, since you're loaded down with tact, shall we say 50?
All right, let's say 50. But remember, I'm not promising Pyle will be the head chef at the Waldorf. He'll just be able to prepare a meal by himself.
You heard him. $50. By this time next week, Pyle cooks a meal all on his own, right, Hacker?
Right, yeah.
Oh, and just one more little thing. About that meal, Hacker, we have to live after it.
The mess hall? You mean you're putting me on KP?
Oh, no, Pyle. This has nothing to do with KP. You see, there's this new regulation that all Marines have to be able to double up in different jobs, you know, in case of emergency. So, knowing how you love to eat, I thought you'd be perfect for the kitchen.
Well, does this mean that I'm going to be over there all the time? You're not trying to get rid of me, are you, Sergeant?
Oh, I know, Pyle. How could you think such a thing? This is just a temporary assignment for a week. And what a great opportunity.
Really?
Oh, sure. Everybody wanted the job. But Sergeant Hacker asked for you special.
He did? Well, I sure hope I'm worthy of the job.
Oh, you are, Pyle. You are. You're going to be just great. The fact is, I've got every confidence in the world in you.
Well, thank you, Sergeant. Knowing that you feel that way about it, I'm going to go over there to the mess hall tomorrow and give it everything I've got.
Good boy. You will? Well, remember, Pyle, we're all only human, and sometimes even the best of us make mistakes.
Don't you worry, Sergeant. I won't let you down.
Yeah, well, whatever you do, Pyle, just be yourself, and everything will work out fine.
How do you mean that?
I mean, don't do anything to change the way you are. I mean, just be yourself.
All right, snap it up in there now. We're a little behind this morning. Pyle? Where's Pyle? He was here a minute ago. Pyle?
Here I am, Sergeant. I had to go change my hat. The other one was kind of loose, and I didn't want it to fall into breakfast.
Yeah, fine, Pyle, fine. But stay close. Stay real close. Now, you're my #1 assistant, and I'm counting on you.
Well, I sure appreciate that, Sergeant. And believe me, I'm gonna do my best. I mean, you won't be sorry for all the faith and trust you have in me.
Yeah, sure, pal. Now, let's see. I want to put you on something nice and simple. There it is. Now, since this is your first day in the kitchen, I'm going to put you on oatmeal.
You mean I'm gonna get to make the oatmeal? I ain't had a recipe for oatmeal.
No, pal, no. The oatmeal's all ready to go. You see, the ingredients are all in there cooking away. Now, all you have to do is stir. Now, watch me. Now, you see, that's all there is to it. You just make circles. Nice, round circles. Now, why don't you try it, pal?
Okay. Like this?
Aye, that's perfect. Just perfect. I've never seen anybody take to stirring just like that.
Thank you, Sergeant. It's just one question, though. Is it okay if I change directions and go like this?
Sure, anything you want, pal. Backwards, forwards, sideways.
Can I make numbers and X's like a figure 8?
Sure, pal. X's, numbers, doodles, anything you want. But just keep stirring. Now, I'm going to go out and check on the steam tables. If you need anything, just call me.
Right, Sergeant. You go about your business and just leave the oatmeal to me. Say, that's a pretty heavy load you got there. Let me give you some help. There you go. Boy, this is way too big a bundle for any one man.
Oatmeal! Pyle! The oatmeal! Pyle!
You call me Sergeant, I was just helping. Shazam! Oatmeal is boiling over.
Yeah, sure it's boiling over. Why is it boiling over? Because you stopped stirring. You did stop stirring, didn't you, Pyle?
Yes, Sergeant, I got no excuse. I left my post. Oh, I feel just terrible.
Yeah, well, get 'em up. Just get 'em up.
I will, Sergeant. I'll get him up. Right away, right away. You just wait right here.
Wow, what happened here?
What does it look like?
Well, we better do something fast, Sergeant. The guys are lining up for chow. What are we going to do about the oatmeal?
Yeah, well, we just have to give 'em what's left. That's all. Get a rag and start cleaning up. And the rest of you, move around there. Okay, come on. Keep it moving there.
I mean, that's it? Come on. Stop with the jokes. Put something in there.
Come on, Carter. Move it along. You're holding up the line.
What do you mean? How are you guys putting out food for canaries? You're feeding Marines. Come on, let's go.
Look, Carter, you got more than enough. Your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Besides, we've been wasting too much food in this mess hall, and I'm calling a halt to it.
Hold on, Hacker. What are you talking about? There's nothing in there.
Waste not, want not. Now move it.
I don't know. There's something phony going on around here.
Hey, Sergeant Hacker, I finished all my mopping and I cleaned up the whole mess. Hey, Sergeant Carter. Boy, when oatmeal boils over, it really boils over.
Yeah, well, okay, Pyle, come on, let's
I should have known. It boiled over? We're out of oatmeal because of you, huh, Pyle?
That's right, Sergeant. It's all my fault. I take full responsibility. It's just like I was telling Sergeant Hacker.
Yeah, okay, Pyle, come on, back in the kitchen. We got a lot of work to do. Fill up those salt shakers, huh?
Right, Sergeant. Sure hope you enjoy the oatmeal, Sergeant, or what's left of it.
Oh, I will. I'll enjoy it like it was a $50 dinner.
Okay now, Pyle, like I told you, we're going to forget all about what happened at breakfast. We're going to start fresh. We're going to pretend that you've never been in this kitchen before, all right?
Okay, Sergeant.
Okay. Now, you see, what we got to do, Pyle, is start from the beginning. We got to get you acquainted with all the fundamentals here. And by the time we're through, you're going to be able to cook a meal all by yourself.
Golly, Sergeant. Me cook a meal by myself? Well, I appreciate your faith in me, Sergeant, but I don't think I could ever do that.
Confidence, Pyle, confidence. Now, let's take a reading on the stuff we're going to be using, all right? Well, now, first of all, this is a stove.
Oh, I already knew that.
Well, it never hurts to be sure. Now, repeat after me. Skillet.
Skillet.
Right? Chopping block.
Chopping block.
Good. Soup ladle.
Soup ladle.
Potato masher.
Potato masher.
Meat cleaver.
Meat cleaver.
Right. I think that's about enough for a start. Now, let's review what we learned, shall we?
skillet.
Good.
Soup ladle.
Very good.
You just told me. Now, don't tell me.
Me.
Oh, I know. No, meat axe.
Oh, it's not a meat axe. It's a meat cleaver. A cleaver. Now, pay attention, Pyle. You'll never learn to cook. Now, get this through your head.
What's going on here? That cleaver, Hacker, what are you trying to do? Just because he ruined the oatmeal?
Knock it off, Carter.
Sergeant Hacker here was giving me a cooking lesson.
Yeah. Well, that'll be all for the first lesson, Pyle. Why don't you go take a break?
Well, thank you, Sergeant, and I sure am enjoying the course. You just call me when you get ready for another class. Chopping block, meat cleaver.
Come on, Charlie, stop kidding around. Why don't you admit he's impossible and toss in the dish towel?
I got till Friday, that's all I'm saying.
You beginning to get the problem, buddy boy? You still think all Pyle needs is the right approach, huh?
I got till Friday, that's all I'm saying.
Well, just remember, Hacker, by Friday, he fixes that meal or you're out to 50.
Just don't you worry about him. I still say all he needs is a little patience and encouragement, which is what I'm giving him, and he'll be fine, just fine.
Well, look who they got serving up the noon chow.
Hey, Sergeant Carter, Corporal Boyle, would you care for some mashed potatoes?
Oh, sure, Pyle. Load me up.
I'll take some too, Pyle.
Hey, Sergeant, guess what?
Huh? What's the matter, Pyle?
I made these mashed potatoes myself.
You did? No kidding. Hey, Boyle, you hear that? Pyle made the mashed potatoes.
Shh. I don't want the other cooks to hear. They'll think I'm pushing myself.
Oh, sure, Pyle, sure. They look delicious. You did a great job.
Thank you, Sergeant. I can hardly wait for you to taste them.
Yeah, well, we can hardly wait either. Right, Boyle?
Let me know what you think. If you want seconds, there's plenty more.
Hey, Vince, you think Pyle really made these potatoes by himself?
I don't know, but here's where we'd find out. He made them. Hacker! Oh, Mess Sergeant Hacker!
What do you want, Carter? I'm busy.
I understand that Pyle made these potatoes all by himself.
That's right. Pyle made them. So what? What's wrong with them?
Well, Boyle and me was just wondering about the recipe. Did he use cement or wallpaper paste?
I had everything laid out for him. I even stood over him while he mixed the ingredients. How could he have? Wait a minute. I remember. I went back to the reefer for some more milk. But I couldn't have been gone more than 45 seconds. He couldn't have.
Oh, yes, he could, Hacker. Leaving Pyle alone for 45 seconds is inviting disaster.
No, it's impossible. It can't be.
You know, Hacker, I almost feel sorry for you. If I was a real nice guy, I'd let you off the hook and call off the bet. But I'm not a nice guy, and you got a big mouth, so the bet's still on. He cooks the meal on Friday, which is tomorrow, is it not? Yes, sir, Boyle, this is it. D-Day, dinner day. 50 big ones coming my way. 5-0.
You sound awful confident, Sarge. You that positive Pyle's gonna blow the meal?
I'll tell you how positive I am. I'm going to call that fancy French joint in town, La Petite Chateau, and make a dinner reservation for Bunny and me. We got a lot of celebrating to do.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, Sergeant. We just received word from the airstrip that Colonel Driscoll arrived from San Francisco, and we'll be eating at your mess this noon. I just thought you ought to know.
Yes, sir. Well, I'll cook up some T-bone steaks, a couple of baked potatoes.
Oh,
loose-
no, nothing special. What are you serving the men?
Well, the menu calls for salmon croquettes, sir, but I'm sure that you and the Colonel would like something a little more elaborate.
I'm afraid you don't understand, Sergeant. Colonel Driscoll makes it a policy to always eat what the men are eating, so salmon croquettes will be fine.
But, sir, the croquettes, you see, I'm not sure about that. What I mean is, they may not come out the way we...
I know this is short notice, Sergeant, but whatever you have will be fine. That'll be all.
Aye, sir. Hey, Carter, it's all over. The bet's off. I gotta get over the mess hall.
Huh?
Colonel Driscoll's on the post. He's gonna eat at our mess hall.
Colonel Driscoll's gonna eat Pyle's cooking? That's very funny.
Oh, yeah? How funny is it gonna be when he tastes the cooking and orders an investigation?
What do you mean?
Look, there's gotta be an investigation. The guys, they just beef a little. But the Colonel will order an investigation.
Huh?
Can't you see it's gotta come out that miserable meal is the result of a personal bet between you and me? You'll be in as much trouble as me.
So what do you suggest?
Our only hope is to get over there and doctor up Pyle's meal before the Colonel shows.
Well, come on, let's go. Yeah. Wait a minute. What if Pyle's cooking can't be fixed?
I don't know. We'll do something. We'll send out for Chinese. Oh, Vince, look.
We're too late. It's Colonel Driscoll with Colonel Gray.
Yeah, and look who's carrying their trays. Oh, somebody trip him. Somebody trip him, please. Oh, he's serving the meal. Vince, I can't watch anymore.
Pyle's handing out the napkins. Driscoll's picking up his fork. He's taking a bite. I can't watch either.
15 years. 15 years. I've been a mess sergeant for 15 years. And now to see it all go down the drain.
Easy, Charlie, easy.
You take it easy. All those years serving up chow in jungles, on beachheads, during air raids, in war and peace. All those years. And not once was I ever called up for a bad meal. And now this is the way it all ends. And it's all your fault.
My fault? My fault? Who opened his big mouth first?
Who wanted Pyle to cook a meal?
Yeah, but if you had to give me that static about him...
knock it off.
What do you mean, knock it off?
Sergeant Hacker, Sergeant Carter, the Colonel would like to see you both right away.
Sergeant Hacker reporting his ordered, sir.
Sergeant Carter reporting his order, sir.
At ease. I understand that you two men have had something to do with the preparation of this meal.
Yes, sir. We both share in the responsibility.
Good. Because I just want to say that is the best pork rinds and collard greens I have ever eaten. Not to mention those black-eyed peas, grits and gravy, and that cherry cobbler. Well, boys, I haven't tasted cooking like that since I was a young'un, back home in Georgia.
Pleasant surprise, Sergeant. I understood today's menu called for salmon croquettes.
Well, I guess I'm to blame for that, sir. You see, Sergeant, when I started fixing them salmon croquettes, I couldn't make heads nor tails out of that recipe, and I knew I couldn't let the fellers go away without eating. So I just got to thinking, and shazam, it come to me.
Shazam?
See, I remembered those Sunday church suppers back home, and how I used to watch my Aunt Martha prepare all the fixings. So I just put my memory to work, and this is it.
Well, however you did it, son, it certainly was a pleasant surprise. And you deserve a lot of credit.
Well, thank you, Colonel, but I can't claim all the credit, because if it hadn't been for Sergeant Hacker here and Sergeant Carter, I never could have done it.
Hold it, son. You lost me there. What do you mean?
Well, be honest with you, Colonel. Up to now, I've been making a real mess here in the mess hall. But Sergeant Hacker here was just as patient as he could be. Hardly ever raised his voice to me. All he was worried about was me making a grade. Isn't that right, Sergeant Hacker?
Yeah, Pyle, sure, that's right.
And as for Sergeant Carter here, when I told him how bad things was going over here in the mess hall, he told me not to worry at all, said it was okay if I ruined a few meals. He said the only way to learn was by making mistakes. So you see, they deserve most of the credit. With faith and confidence like that, how could I go wrong?
Well, apparently you two sergeants have a real talent for handling men, and that's good.
Thank you, sir. All we can do is try. Give it our best.
But, of course, with a bright boy like Pyle here to work with, you really have no problems.
Yes, sir. He's one of my favorites. Bright as they come. Only wish I had more like him.
Well, Vince, all in all, I'd say we've been pretty lucky. Pretty lucky.
Yeah, Pyle really came through for us, didn't he?
He sure did. And speaking of coming through, how about paying off?
Paying off? What do you mean?
Well, the bet that Pyle could manage a meal all by himself.
Are you kidding? You called it off, don't you remember?
Oh, I called it off when I thought that I'd have to throw his meal out and cook one myself. But I didn't have to. Pyle's meal worked, so pay up.
So it worked. That's no credit to you. That's cooking he learned from his Aunt Martha. If I was going to pay anybody, I'd pay his Aunt Martha.
Oh, Vince, be fair.
Be fair, you be fair. You cancel out, the bet's off. Come on.
Well, all right. Maybe you're right.
You're darn right I'm right.
There, you got me on a technicality.
Yeah.
But you got to admit one thing, what I started out to prove, that if you show even a knucklehead like Pyle a little patience and understanding, he'll come through for you.
I don't know.
What do you mean? He did such a good job with lunch, I told him to go ahead and make dinner.
You did? He's making dinner?
Right now. Tact, Vince, tact. Just show him a little confidence and he'll come through. Why don't you admit it?
I don't know.
Admit it, admit it. All he needs...
What's that? I don't know. Thunder?
Could be a sonic boom.
Oh, no, it sounded closer, like it came from down around the mess hall.
The mess hall?
Sergeant Hacker, I got bad news about your stove.
Admit what, Hacker?
As his own defense attorney. I object, sir. You can't call Sidney stupid. He may have had an unhappy childhood. Just as the judge was about to pass sentence, McHale and the boys wheeled in the witness. Sidney the alligator, with the wallet still firmly wedged in his jaws. Exhibit A, McHale shouted. Sidney, starred by the gavel, lunged for Binghamton. The captain scrambled up a flagpole. In the chaos, the crew managed to recover the payroll, which had been hidden inside an old decorative cannon, too. Keep it safe. To prove their innocence, McHale lit the cannon to show it was just a prop. Instead of a cannonball, $62, 000 in cash exploded into the air, raining down on the assembled officers like green confetti. Manna from heaven, Gruber yelled, catching a handful of 20s. Binghamton, still hanging from the flagpole, could only watch as his perfect trap turned into a literal money shower for the men he hated most. McHale, he screamed into the tropical wind. I'll get you for this, if it's the last thing I do. But McHale just smiled, lit a cigar, and watched the money fall. On Teratupa, the war was long, the heat was brutal, but the laughs were free. Epilogue. Weeks later, a postcard arrived from McHale. Dear Acting Base Commander, having a wonderful time. Can't thank you enough for the vacation. Ever so fondly, Wally. P.S. Excuse the ink blots. My martini spilled. McHale tossed the card into the Pacific. Back to work, boys. I think I hear a garbage scow that needs torpedoing. The Pirates of Teratupa. A novel of naval misadventure. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Coming Storm. The South Pacific Sun was not merely a celestial body. On the island of Teratupa, it was a personal enemy. It beat down on the corrugated iron roofs of the naval base with ferocity that made the air shimmer like a cheap hallucination inside the commanding officer's office. Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, known to his less than loyal subordinates as Old Lead Bottom, was having a morning that could only be described as acidic. Wow, 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 wow. Binghamton sputtered, his voice cracking like a dry reed. He stared at the man across from him, Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter. Carpenter was the kind of officer who would salute a seagull if it wore a hat. Garter belts, Carpenter. You are the supply officer here. if the nurses need garter belts. Then you snap to it. Shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. But, sir, Carpenter whined, dabbing sweat from his upper lip. The logistics are impossible. We're in a war zone. What a war, Binghamton groaned, clutching his stomach as if it were a ticking bomb. Everything is on my shoulders. The Sinks and the Petty Officers Club are backing up. The Japanese are 10 miles out, and now I'm a lingerie salesman. The telephone on his desk jangled. Binghamton snatched it up. Hello. Yes. This is Captain Binghamton. Who did you expect to find in my office? Tokyo Rose? What? The Sinks? I'm the commanding officer here. I'm not a plumber. Go tell it to McHale. He slammed the phone down and turned to Carpenter with a look of pure, unadulterated terror. I just got a message. Admiral Rafferty, Iron Pants Rafferty, is arriving today on a sneak. Inspection. Do you realize what a mess this place is in? Binghamton popped a handful of antacid pills into his mouth like they were candy. Sir, please, Carpenter pleaded. Your stomach acid could start a car. Take it easy on those. I don't care. I don't care. Binghamton paced the small office. Wait a minute. If I were sick, really sick, I could appoint an acting base commander. He would have, to face the Admiral's wrath. And I know just the man. A slow, devious smile spread across his face. It was the smile of a man who had just decided to throw someone else to the sharks. Not you. Carpenter. You're a boob. I'm thinking of McHale, with McHale and his cutthroats in charge. They'll run wild. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the Admiral. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, sir, Carpenter agreed, though he looked slightly confused. I look sick, don't I? Binghamton asked, suddenly slumping into his chair. Terribly sick. Call the medic. Hurry. I'm not well. As Carpenter ran out screaming for help, Binghamton practiced his deathbed groan. He didn't know it yet. But he was about to set in motion a chain of events that would involve laughing gas, a sultan, a thieving alligator, and a missing peril, all of which would haunt his dreams for years to come. Chapter 2. The Acting Base Commander. Commander Quentin McHale was a man of the sea, which usually meant he was a man of the gin, the poker game, and the perpetual tan. His crew on the PT 73 was less a military unit and more of a traveling circus of misfits. When McHale was summoned to the base hospital, he found Binghamton looking like a man who'd been flattened by a steamroller. Oh, McHale, Binghamton moaned, his head propped up by a mountain of pillows. I'm in bad shape. Bad shape. Gee, Captain, I'm sorry, McHale said, his tone suggesting he was about as sorry as a shark is for a wounded seal. What do the tests say? Tests? They don't know. All I know is I'm a very sick man. I'm appointing you acting base. Commander McHale, you and your executive officer, Parker. Ensign Charles Parker, a man whose primary combat skill was accidentally discharging his own firearm, beamed. Oh, boy. Did you hear that, Skipper? Acting Executive Officer Parker. You'll never regret this. Captain. Binghamton closed his eyes. I know. Now get out. Go to my office. Take command this minute. That's an order. As soon as they left, McHale turned to his crew, Gruber, Christie, Tinker, Virgil, and Willie. All right, gypsies, you heard the man. Let's move in. We got a base to run. And the skipper says full speed ahead. Within 2 hours, the Taratupa Naval Base had undergone a radical transformation. The discipline of the U.S. Navy was replaced by the aesthetics of a tropical resort. Sinks were still backed up, but nobody cared because a little action had been organized. Step right up, Gruber shouted, gesturing toward a makeshift stage. Beautiful girls, hula hotshots, wiggle your blues away. A group of local girls in grass skirts began to dance as the sailors cheered. A gambling ring was established behind the supply hut, and Willie still was producing a batch of torpedo juice that could melt the paint off a destroyer. It was in this atmosphere of festive chaos that Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty's plane touched down. "Commander McHale at your service, sir." McHale shouted, saluting as Rafferty stepped out of his jeep. Rafferty looked at McHale, then at Parker, then at the lay around Parker's neck. "What the devil is that thing around your neck, ensign?" "Oh, it's an old native custom, sir." Parker squeaked. "Welcome ashore." "I heard Binghamton was in the hospital," Rafferty barked. "I'll pay my respects, then we'll begin the inspection. I expect this base to be ship-shape." Meanwhile, back at the hospital, Binghamton was practically vibrating with excitement. "When I tip off the Admiral about the hula girls and the Roman orgy McHale has set up, his career is going up in smoke." He threw off his covers, only to find a nurse, Lieutenant Wilson, standing there in a swimsuit. "Captain, I thought you were working too hard, so I came to take you for a swim." "Get out. Get in the closet." Binghamton hissed as he heard Rafferty's voice approaching. The inspection turned into a farce. Every time Rafferty pointed at something suspicious, McHale had a fast-talking explanation. When Binghamton, dressed in a seaman's uniform to catch them in the act, tried to point out the hula girls in the air raid shelter, the girls had already been moved to the laundry shack. When he pointed to the laundry shack, they were gone. By the end of the day, Rafferty was convinced that Captain Binghamton was suffering from hallucinations about girls. War does terrible things to a man's mind. McHale sighed sympathetically as they watched a raving Binghamton being dragged back to the hospital in a straitjacket. "Quite right, McHale," Rafferty nodded. "Back to bed, Captain. That's an order." Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Scams. A few weeks later, the air raid shelter was once again the center of a crisis, but this time it involved royalty. "We are to expect a visit from the Sultan of Marami," Binghamton announced. His eyebrows finally began to grow back after a minor explosion involving the PT-73. He's arriving with his 3 daughters. "The Admiral wants us to make a 100% impression, and that means McHale and his riffraff must be nowhere near the base." Binghamton ordered the PT-73 on a reconnaissance mission to a deserted strip called Aku Aku. However, fate had other plans. The Sultan's plane developed engine trouble and was forced down near the island of Samura, exactly, where McHale was patrolling. "Greetings, Your Highness," McHale said, bowing as he helped the Sultan onto the 73 boat. "I am Quentin McHale. My crew and I are here to serve you." The Sultan, a man of immense dignity and even more immense luggage, looked skeptical. "Are these men to be trusted with my daughters and my priceless cargo?" "Wowie, wow, wow," Gruber exclaimed, catching a glimpse of the princesses. "Were you and Mirani? Like a chicken," the Sultan snapped. "He didn't mean any harm, Highness," McHale said quickly. "In our country, that's a ceremonial greeting. Wowie, wow, wow, wow." By the time they reached the base, the Sultan was so impressed with McHale's skillful boat handling, which mostly involved letting. The Sultan steered the boat into a sandbar that he insisted McHale attend the state dinner. Binghamton was livid. "I want you to make sure everything is in order, McHale, or I'll have your head." But the crew of the 73 had their own problems. Virgil had fallen for one of the princesses, Siri, and had convinced the crew to borrow the PT-73 for a private boat ride. When the engines conked out in the middle of the lagoon, the crew realized they had stalled the Sultan's dinner. The solution? A classic masquerade. "The princesses are still dressing," Binghamton told the Sultan, sweating profusely. "But they've sent word. They want to dance for you." 2 of the princesses came out and began a veiled dance. They moved with a strange, rhythmic clunkiness that suggested they had spent more time on a PT boat than in a palace. One of these girls is an imposter. Binghamton roared, suddenly suspicious. He lunged forward and grabbed a dancer. You phony Balinese bunny. You're under arrest." He pulled the veil away to reveal Ensign Parker in a wig and a silk sash. "Halt!" Parker squeaked. The Sultan stood up, his face purple. Captain, your unpardonable behavior will be reported to the State Department. My daughters have been insulted. But, sir, I thought he was a bunny. Binghamton wailed as the Sultan stormed out. Once again, McHale had survived, and Binghamton was left explaining to Washington why he had tried to arrest a foreign princess who turned out to be his own executive officer. Chapter 4. The Hero of the Laughing Gas. The tension on the base reached a breaking point when Ensign Parker accidentally ran over Captain Binghamton with the PT-73 during a botched docking maneuver. I've had it. Binghamton screamed from his hospital bed, his second home. I am calling a fitness board. I'm breaking Parker down to Seaman second class. He's finished. He's done. He's kaput. The crew of the 73 knew they had to save Chucky Wucky. Their plan was simple: get Binghamton in a good mood. And since natural charm wasn't working, they turned to science. Or specifically, the base dentist supply of nitrous oxide. 1 tank of 100-proof laughing gas, Gruber whispered, sneaking the canister toward the captain's office window, compliments of the dental clinic. As the gas began to waft into the office, Binghamton's mood underwent a terrifying transformation. Oh, McCall, my old pal. Binghamton giggled, throwing his arms around McHale. What's a little torpedo between friends? And Chucky Wucky, you torpedoed the garbage boat? Oh, that's a riot. I love it. He's hysterical, Parker whispered, terrified. Is it working? Working? He's probably going to promote you to admiral. McHale laughed. But the plan went sideways when a laughing gas made Binghamton so giddy that he wandered out onto the base during a sudden Japanese air raid. Look at the flies, Binghamton chirped, pointing at the incoming Zeros. Frangipani flies. They're so pretty. Captain, get down, McHale shouted. Parker, seeing the danger, lunged for a machine gun. In his gas-induced bravery and total lack of coordination, he began spinning the gun wildly. I've got you, Bingy Wingy. Rat-tat-tat-tat. By some miracle of physics that scientists still cannot explain, Parker's wild spray of bullets intersected with the flight path of an enemy bomber. The plane erupted in a ball of fire and plunged into the sea. When the smoke cleared, Admiral Shoemaker, who had arrived with fitness board, was staring in awe. Magnificent, Shoemaker declared. Ensign Parker, you stood laughing in the face of death and shot down a bomber single-handedly. This man isn't unfit. For duty, he's a hero. Captain Binghamton, how could you possibly think this man should be broken? A still giggling Binghamton looked at the Admiral. Oh, Admiral, you're so cute. Do you want to go on sick call together? Parker was saved. Binghamton was sedated, and the PT-73 crew spent the night celebrating with a batch of champagne they had found in Binghamton's private piggy bank. Chapter 5. Sidney the Witness. If there was one thing Captain Binghamton hated more than McHale, it was McHale's choice of pets. The crew had adopted an alligator they named Sidney. Sidney was a creature of simple tastes. He liked the sun, he liked the water, and he had an inexplicable addiction to Ensign Parker's mother's peanut butter. I am not having a reptilian mascot on this base, Binghamton roared. To prove McHale and his crew were thieves, Binghamton had set a trap. He marked $900 in brand-new bills, put them in his wallet, and accidentally dropped it near the PT-73. When they pocket the money, wham, it's brig time, Binghamton whispered to Carpenter. But Sidney, the alligator, got there first. He didn't want the money. He just liked the way the leather wallet felt on his gums. He snatched it up and retreated into the swamp. When Binghamton found his ID card in Sidney's mouth, he naturally assumed McHale had fed him the evidence. He immediately convened a court-martial for Ensign Parker. I intend to prove to this court, Binghamton declared, pointing a finger at Parker, that my wallet was stolen by this deceitful ball of incompetence. I object. Parker cried. I demand mistrial on the grounds of temporary insanity. The alligator who stole the wallet was crazy about my mother's peanut butter. The courtroom erupted in laughter. Order! The judge advocate shouted. Captain Binghamton, do you have any evidence? I have the ID card. Binghamton yelled. And I have the alligator. McHale, bring in the witness. McHale and the crew hauled Sidney into the courtroom. The alligator looked bored until he saw Parker. Open up, Sidney, McHale whispered. Show the nice judge what you have. Sidney opened his mouth, and there, nestled against his tongue, was the wallet, completely intact, along with the marked $900. Exhibit for the defense. McHale announced. Aha! Parker shouted, suddenly finding his legal voice. As lawyer for my own defense, I charge the new defendant, Captain Binghamton, with trying to frame my client, a poor, defenseless alligator. Binghamton turned purple. I'll kill him. I'll kill that lizard. The court-martial was dismissed. Sidney was given a hero's welcome and an extra jar of peanut butter. And Binghamton was ordered to pay for the unnecessary trauma inflicted upon the alligator. Chapter 6. The Ghost of PT-13. Fear is a powerful motivator, and the crew of the 73 knew that Binghamton was terrified of the supernatural. When the captain tried to force the crew into permanent transfers to a dangerous combat zone by falsifying their records, McHale decided it was time for a haunting. They changed the number on the boat from 73 to 13. The PT-13 is a jinx boat. Gruber whispered loudly where Carpenter could hear. 2 crews drowned, blown up by exploding gas tanks. It's a floating Jonah. Binghamton laughed it off until the haunting began. In the dead of night, the engines of the 13 boat began to roar to life on their own, thanks to a remote wire. Gun turrets spun. Eerie lights flickered. We have come back from the grave to see you, Captain. McHale's voice echoed through the bass, distorted by a megaphone. Binghamton, trembling in his pajamas, saw a ghost, the crew in white sheets, floating toward his office. Oh, McHale, I thought you were dead. Binghamton shrieked. Of course we're dead, Wally, McHale's ghost moaned. And we want the transfers. We need them for our records. They run a tight cloud up there. Take them. Take them. Binghamton threw the papers at the ghost and dived under his desk. The next morning, when McHale returned from his mission, very much alive, Binghamton realized he had been tricked, but it was too late. The papers had already been shredded. Watch out for the ladders, Captain, McHale said with a wink. They're bad luck. Chapter 7. The Great Payroll Heist. The final adventure took the crew to New Caledonia. They had been restricted to the boat by Binghamton, but naturally, they had ignored the order the moment the captain left for his conference. Restriction is for people who don't know how to have fun, McHale declared, leading the crew into the streets of Noumea. However, the fun ended when the base payroll, $62, 000 in cash, was hijacked right from under Ensign Parker's nose. I saw a girl's ankle. Parker cried, trying to describe the scene to a furious McHale. She had a little brown heart birthmark on her right ankle. I remember because I grabbed it. The crew spent the next 8 hours scouring every cafe and casino in New Caledonia, looking for a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark. It was a search that involved tipping over tables, checking ankles, and narrowly avoiding Captain Binghamton at every turn. I've got you this time, McHale. Binghamton screamed when he finally spotted them. Where is the payroll? You absconded with it. We're looking for it, Captain, McHale shouted as they chased a suspicious man in a gray suit through a crowded market. The chase ended in a frantic shootout involving a ceremonial French cannon that Parker accidentally ignited with a cigar. Boom! The cannon fired, not a shell, but a blizzard of paper. It's raining money, Gruber yelled. The hijackers had stashed the $62,000 inside the old cannon, thinking no one would ever fire it. As the bills fluttered down like green snow, Binghamton scrambled to catch them. 1, 2, 3. Binghamton counted, his eyes wide with greed and relief. "I wasn't worried for a second, Captain," McHale said, leaning against the cannon. "I knew we'd find it." "Shut up, McHale," Binghamton muttered, clutching a handful of 20s. "Just shut up." As the PT-73 headed back toward Taratupa, the sun setting behind them in a blaze of orange and purple, McHale looked at his crew. They were tired, they were broke, and they were in deep trouble for about 5 different things. "Well, boys," McHale grinned, "at least it wasn't a boring trip." And on the shore, Captain Binghamton stood watching them, already planning his next get-well scheme, unaware that Sidney the alligator was currently eyeing his other wallet. The end. The Pirates of Taratupa. A novel of comedy, chaos, and command. Chapter 1. The Stomach Acid of Command. The South Pacific sun beat down on Taratupa with the relentless intensity of a drill sergeant. Inside the command office, Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, known affectionately and exclusively behind his back as Old, Lead Bottom, felt every degree of that heat in his rising blood pressure. He stared at a requisition form that would have made a lesser man weep. "Wow! Wow! Wow! Wow!" Binghamton muttered, his voice reaching a pitch usually reserved for bird calls. He waved a paper at a sycophantic aide, Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter. "Garter belts, Carpenter. You are the supply officer here. If the nurses need garter belts, then you snap to it. Shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean." "But, sir," Carpenter stammered, "the logistics of—" "Logistics be damned. Everything is on my shoulders." Binghamton slumped into his chair, which groaned in sympathy. "And now this. I just got a message from a pal at Comfleet. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty is. Arriving today for a sneak inspection." The name hit the room like a depth charge. Rafferty was a man who polished his own medals with the tears of incompetent officers. "Do you realize what a mess this place is in?" Binghamton gestured wildly at the window, where the tropical island of Taratupa looked less like a military outpost and more like a beach, resort for the criminally disorganized. "The sinks in the Petty Officers Club are backing up. Tokyo Rose probably knows about our plumbing. Issues before I do." He popped a pill into his mouth, grimacing. "My stomach acid could start a car, Carpenter. It really could." "Please, sir, take it easy on those pills," Carpenter urged. "They give you indigestion." "I don't care. I just don't care." Binghamton's eyes suddenly widened as a spark of devious inspiration lit up his face. "Wait a minute. If I were sick, truly, terribly, medically incapacitated, I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to take the brunt of Rafferty's wrath." "Brilliant, sir. But who?" Binghamton grinned, a look that usually preceded someone getting court-martialed. "Not Julian. Not Ninny. McHale. With Quentin McHale and his band of cutthroats in charge. They'll run wild. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the Admiral. I'll be in a hospital. Bed, innocent and ailing, while McHale gets busted down to seaman second class." Chapter 2. The Happiest Illness. Commander Quentin McHale was a man of the sea, which meant he spent as much time as possible avoiding the land-based bureaucracy of the U.S. Navy. When he was summoned to Binghamton's deathbed, he found the captain draped in a robe, groaning like a haunted house. "Oh, McHale," Binghamton wheezed. "It's bad, real bad. The medics don't know what it is. I'm in no shape to lead. I'm appointing you acting base commander." McHale blinked. "Me? Captain, you must be kidding. I'm a saltwater skipper. I'd be no good behind a desk." "I'm not kidding." Binghamton cried, then remembered to cough pathetically. "And I'm appointing Ensign Parker here as your acting executive officer." Parker, a man whose primary relationship with gravity was one of frequent and sudden failure, beamed. "Oh, boy. Did you hear that, Skipper? Acting exec. You won't regret this, Captain." "I know I won't," Binghamton whispered as they left. As soon as the door clicked shut, he sat up. "This is going to be one of the happiest illnesses of my life." Within an hour, Taratupa transformed. McHale's crew, Gruber, Virgil, Christie, and the rest, didn't see command as a responsibility. They saw it as a license. The Petty Officers Club didn't just get its sinks fixed. It got a floor-to-show hula troupe and a gambling ring that would make Las Vegas look like a Sunday. School. "Tell the boys full speed ahead." McHale told the crew, busy juggling 3 phone calls. "Garter belts to the nurses? Send a shindig for CBs? Throw it." Meanwhile, Iron Pants Rafferty's plane touched down. Chapter 3. The Closet Incident. Binghamton, watching through the hospital window, cackled as he saw the chaos unfolding. The lost boys of Peter Pan Island didn't let me down. Carpenter, they've turned Taratupa into a regular Roman orgy. He jumped back into bed as Admiral Rafferty marched in. Rafferty looked like he was carved out of granite and dipped in starch. "Binghamton," Rafferty barked. "Sorry to see you laid up." "Thank you, Admiral. It's the stress. But you must go see the air raid shelter." "Sir, immediately. You won't believe what's going on while I'm at death's door." McHale and Parker scrambled to lead the Admiral through the base. Every corner turned was a potential disaster. "What is that thing around your neck, ensign?" Rafferty asked, eyeing a lay on Parker's neck. "An old native custom, sir." Parker squeaked. They reached the hospital ward where Binghamton was recuperating. Binghamton, desperate to expose the crew, began shouting about hula girls in the air raid shelters. "He's delirious, sir." McHale interrupted. "Combat fatigue." "I am not. They're in the closet. Look in the closet." Binghamton screamed. Rafferty sighed and opened the closet. Out tumbled a confused Lieutenant Nurse Wilson in a swimsuit, followed by several rolls of garter belts. "Captain," Rafferty said, his voice cold enough to freeze bourbon, "I'd like an explanation, and it better be good." It was McHale. He put her there." "The man is suffering from hallucinations," Rafferty concluded, looking at Binghamton with pity. "A nice long rest in the psychiatric ward, I think. McHale, you stay in command. You seem to have the only level head on this island." Binghamton's scream of frustration was heard all the way to Tokyo. Chapter 4. The Sultan and the Scoundrels. Weeks later, after Binghamton had recovered, mostly through sheer spite, a new crisis arrived. The Sultan of Marami and his 3 princesses were coming to Taratupa for a diplomatic visit. 100% order. Binghamton barked at his men. "I want an impression made. No McHale. No riffraff." He ordered the PT-73 out on a useless recon mission to a deserted strip called Aku Aku. But as luck, or the script, would have it, the Sultan's plane developed engine trouble and forced a landing near, you guessed it, Aku Aku. McHale and his crew arrived to find the Sultan, a man of immense dignity and even more immense luggage. "Greetings, Your Highness," McHale said, bowing. "I am Commander McHale. We are here to serve you." "Wowie, wow, wow," Gruber whispered, looking at the princesses. "Like a chicken," the Sultan snapped, offended by the crew's informal demeanor. "The next man who debases the dignity of the princesses will answer to me." On the boat ride back, the Sultan, fascinated by the PT boat's power, insisted on steering. McHale, ever the diplomat, led him. The resulting zigzagging nearly sent Ensign Parker overboard. Back at the base, Binghamton tried to take over. He threw a lavish dinner, excluding McHale, until the Sultan insisted his rescuer attend. The dinner was a comedy of errors. Parker, in a desperate attempt to help the princesses, who had snuck out for a boat ride with the crew, dressed up in a veil and tried to dance as a third daughter. Binghamton, suspecting a phony Balinese bunny, grabbed the dancer. "You're under arrest, you imposter." He ripped off the veil to find a terrified, wig-wearing Ensign Parker. "Captain," the Sultan roared, "your unpardonable behavior will be reported to the State Department. My daughters are not for your amusement." Binghamton stood there holding a wig, wondering if it was too late to rejoin the psychiatric ward. Chapter 5, The Laughing Gas Maneuver. The friction between Binghamton and Parker finally reached a breaking point when the captain ordered a fitness board to convene. He wanted Parker out of the Navy. "He torpedoed a garbage scow, McHale." Binghamton yelled. He said he thought it was a nip sub camouflage with potato peels. The crew knew they had to save Parker. Their solution? Science. Specifically, a tank of nitrous oxide, laughing gas, stolen from the base dentist. "The plan is simple," McHale explained. "We pipe the gas into Binghamton's office. He gets happy. He cancels the board. Parker stays." As the gas flooded the office, Binghamton's scowl began to melt. He looked at McHale and giggled. "McHale, you're a real card, a regular joker." "An Ensign Parker, sir." "Chucky Wucky? I love Chucky Wucky. He's my pal. Cancel the board. Give him a medal." The plan was working perfectly until Admiral Shoemaker, the head of the fitness board, arrived early. He found the captain dancing on a desk and singing about hula girls. "Binghamton, what in the name of the Great White Fleet is going on?" Shoemaker demanded. The gas began to wear off just as an actual air raid siren went off. Parker, still slightly enhanced by the gas, ran out to the anti-aircraft guns. In a fit of hysterical bravery, he managed to shoot down a Japanese bomber while laughing like a maniac. "Magnificent!" Shoemaker exclaimed. "A man who stands in the face of death with a smile? That lad was born to be a combat officer. Binghamton, you're the one who needs a fitness review." Chapter 6, Sydney and the Payroll. The crew's luck was tested to the limit during a trip to New Caledonia. Tasked with picking up the base payroll, $62,000 in small, unmarked bills, Parker managed to lose the bag during a confusing encounter with a beautiful French girl. "I saw a heart," Parker cried, "a birthmark on her ankle." While the crew scoured the streets for a girl with a heart on her ankle, they encountered a local resident, Sydney, a friendly but massive alligator who had a taste for peanut butter sandwiches and, apparently, leather wallets. Binghamton, convinced the crew had stolen the money, arrived in New Caledonia to catch them red-handed. He set a trap with his own wallet, but Sydney the alligator snatched it first. Sydney ate the captain. Parker screamed, finding the alligator with Binghamton's ID card in its mouth. The ensuing court-martial was a circus. The defense's key witness was Sydney himself, who was led into the courtroom with a peanut butter sandwich. "I object," Binghamton shouted. "You can't put an alligator on the stand." "He's the only one with the evidence, sir," McHale countered. Sydney yawned, and out of his mouth popped a charred, wet canvas bag, the $62,000 payroll. "Aha!" Binghamton cried, reaching for it. "Evidence!" But the money was stuck. The only way to get out was to fire the old ceremonial cannon Sydney had crawled into. With a massive boom, the cannon fired, raining $62,000 in crisp bills over the entire harbor. "Manna from heaven!" the locals shouted, diving into the water. Binghamton stood there, covered in falling cash, while McHale and his crew began the long, arduous task of collecting the evidence, one bill for the Navy, one bill for the crew's retirement fund. Chapter 7, The Ghost of PT-13. In a final attempt to break the crew, Binghamton tried a psychological approach. He produced a forged document proving that the PT-73 was actually the PT-13, a Jinx boat with a history of explosions and ghosts. "You're on a Jonah ship, McHale," Binghamton warned. You're all doomed. The crew, surprisingly superstitious, began to panic. Strange noises echoed in the night. Lights flickered. Parker swore he saw a spectral figure in the rigging. McHale realized Binghamton was behind the haunting. He decided to outghost the captain. That night, the crew dressed in white sheets and covered themselves in phosphorus paint. They snuck into Binghamton's quarters while he slept. Wallace B. Binghamton, they wailed. Binghamton woke up to see a glowing, spectral crew surrounding his bed. McHale, is it you? Are you dead? We've come from the big PT boat in the sky, Wally, McHale's voice echoed. And we've come for transfers. Sign them, Wally, or come with us to the depths. Terrified, Binghamton signed the transfer papers that would move the crew to a luxury assignment in Hawaii. The next morning, the ghosts were gone, and McHale was waving the signed papers in the air. Binghamton realized he'd been had, but the papers were legal, witnessed, and already on a plane to Comfleet. Epilogue: The Sunset of Teratupa. As the sun set over Teratupa, the PT-73 sat peacefully at the dock. Binghamton sat in his office, his eyebrows finally starting to grow back, watching McHale's crew share a final round of liberated champagne. You know, Carpenter, Binghamton sighed, sometimes I think those pirates are the only thing keeping me sane. Really, sir? No, I hate them. Get me the Admiral. I want to report a haunting. But the Admiral was already on the line, thanking Captain Binghamton for the excellent morale and innovative leadership demonstrated by his acting commander, Quentin McHale. Binghamton put the phone down, took 2 indigestion tablets, and looked at the garter belt requisition form. Wow, he whispered. Wow, 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 wow. The end. The Pirates of Teratupa. A novel of military malpractice, alligators, and laughing gas. Chapter 1. The Great Garter Belt Crisis. The humidity on Teratupa Island was thick enough to chew, but Captain Wallace B. Binghamton's blood pressure was rising even faster than the morning sun. He sat at his desk, staring at a requisition form that seemed to summarize the utter futility of his command. Wow, 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 Binghamton muttered, his voice trembling with a mixture of disbelief and impending migraine. Garter belts. You are the supply officer here, Carpenter. If the nurses need garter belts, then you snap to it. Shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter, a man whose spine was made of pure gelatin and whose loyalty was as blind as a subterranean mole, stood at attention. Yes, sir. Snapping and shaking, sir. Binghamton groaned, massaging his temples. This was the South Pacific. There was a war on. Somewhere, great armadas were clashing, and strategic geniuses were moving pins on maps. Here, Binghamton was the primary arbiter of hosiery. Everything is on my shoulders, he lamented. Sir, Carpenter whispered, leaning in as if sharing a state secret. I just got a message from a pal of mine at Comfleet. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty is arriving today on a sneak inspection. The color drained from Binghamton's face, leaving him looking like a very stressed marshmallow. Iron Pants? Coming here? Today? Do you realize what a mess this place is in? The sinks and the petty. Officers' Club are backing up. Tokyo Rose probably knows more about my base than I do. The phone rang. Binghamton snatched it up, screaming before the person on the other end could breathe. Who did you expect to find in my office? Tokyo Rose? The sinks are backing up. I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. He slammed the phone down and reached for a bottle of white pills. His stomach acid was currently potent enough to dissolve a Japanese zero. Sir, please, Carpenter pleaded. Those pills give you indigestion. Take it easy. Binghamton stared at the pills, then at the door, then back at Carpenter. A slow, wicked light flickered in his eyes, the kind of light that usually preceded a court-martial or a nervous breakdown. Wait a minute, Binghamton whispered. If I were sick, really sick, I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to face the admiral, someone who would inevitably screw up so badly that the admiral would have no choice but to ship them to a penal colony in the Arctic. Carpenter blinked. Sir, you aren't thinking of... Not Julian, not Ninny. McHale, Binghamton shouted, with McHale and his cutthroats in charge. They will run wild. They'll destroy themselves right in front of the admiral. Carpenter, call the medic. I'm dying. I'm fading. Carmen, tell them the captain is not well. He collapsed onto a sofa with the grace of a falling sack of flour. Carpenter, I think I'm going to faint. Oh, sir, Carpenter cried, failing to catch him. You're going to pay for that. I mean, you're going to faint. Chapter 2, Acting Commander McHale. Commander Quentin McHale was a man who viewed Navy regulations as suggestions and his PT boat, the 73, as a floating social club. When he was summoned to the hospital to find Binghamton draped in a silk robe and surrounded by suspicious-looking medical charts, he knew something was fishy. Oh, McHale, Binghamton moaned, his head propped up by 4 pillows. I'm in bad shape. Bad shape. The medics don't know what it is. I have to appoint an acting base. Commander? Well, sir, McHale said, trying to suppress a grin. I'm sure Lieutenant Carpenter will do a fine job. Carpenter? He's a boob. Binghamton snapped, momentarily forgetting he was dying. He quickly resumed his moan. No, McHale, I'm appointing you. And Parker here. He'll be your acting executive officer. Ensign Charles Parker, a man who could trip over a shadow in an empty room, beamed. Oh, boy, did you hear that, Skipper? Acting exec. You won't regret this, Captain. I know I won't, Binghamton smirked into his pillow. The moment McHale and Parker stepped into the headquarters, the pirates of the 73 boat took it as a license to print money. Chief, Parker shouted into the phone. The garter belts? Yes. We found them. Send them to the nurses' quarters. And someone tell the CBs to keep their heads. Down at the rifle range, I think we built a mess hall in the middle of the line of fire. Meanwhile, Gruber, the crew's resident hustler, saw an opportunity. The skipper said it's okay. Boys, full speed ahead. Open up the shop. Bring in the hula girls. Let's rake in the dough. Within hours, the base at Taratupa had transformed. What was once a military outpost was now a Roman orgy, complete with grass skirts, illegal stills, and a gambling ring that would make Las Vegas look like a Sunday school. It's beautiful, sir, Carpenter reported back to hospital. Taratupa is a disgrace. The Admiral is landing his plane right now. McHale is finished. Binghamton sat up, his illness vanishing like mist. Good. This is the happiest illness of my life. Let's go watch the execution. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Scramble. The inspection was a disaster for Binghamton, mostly because McHale's luck was supernatural. Every time Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty moved toward a scandal, the crew moved it 2 inches out of sight. But the real challenge arrived when the Sultan, Karim of Marami, and his 3 daughters were forced to make an emergency landing near the island. McHale rescued them in the 73 boat, but not before the crew nearly started an international incident. Wowie, wow, wow. Virgil whispered as the Sultan's daughters boarded. I heard that, the Sultan barked. The next man who debases the dignity of the princesses will answer to me. Sorry, Your Highness, McHale said, shoving Virgil overboard. He's just expressing a ceremonial greeting. It's a Navy custom. The Sultan was charmed by McHale, much to Binghamton's fury. Binghamton decided to throw a formal dinner for the Sultan, hoping to regain favor. Naturally, he tried to keep McHale's crew restricted to the base. But the crew had other plans. Gruber had a date with Princess Siri, and he convinced Parker to help him borrow the 73 boat for a moonlit cruise. Mr. Parker, Gruber said, blindfolding the ensign. We want you to demonstrate how to take apart a .50 caliber machine gun blindfolded. It's for our education. Oh, well, Parker blushed. If you guys are so anxious to learn, first, we disengage grip control A. While Parker was fumbling with the gun, the crew sneaked the 73 out of the slip. But things went south when the engines conked out, leaving Gruber and the princess stranded. Back at the dinner, Binghamton was getting impatient. Where are the princesses? We're ready to eat. They're dressing, sir. McHale stalled, sweating. The crew, realizing they were down one princess, did what any self-respecting sailors would do. They dressed Ensign Parker in a grass skirt and a veil. Gentlemen, the Sultan announced, my daughters will now dance for you. The princesses emerged, 2 beautiful girls and one very hairy, very nervous sister, who looked remarkably like a junior officer in the U.S. Navy. Binghamton squinted. That one has a very familiar set of knees. He lunged forward, ripping the veil off. It's Parker. I knew it. You phony Balinese bunny. You're under arrest. The Sultan stood up, outraged. You dare touch my daughter? You dare call her a bunny? But, sir, Binghamton cried, this is a man, a dim-witted ensign. The Sultan didn't care. He swept out of the room, promising to complain to the State Department, leaving Binghamton holding a handful of veil and another impending court-martial. Chapter 4, The Laughing Gas Gambit. Binghamton had finally reached his limit. He called for a fitness board to review Ensign Parker's record, determined to break him down to seaman second class. I'm going to request a couple of cases of ketchup, Binghamton sneered. Sir, Carpenter asked, ketchup? Because when I'm done with Parker, there's going to be nothing left of him but hamburger. McHale knew he had to save Parker. The crew came up with a plan involving a tank of nitrous oxide, laughing gas, stolen from the dental clinic. Once we blow this to the captain's window, McHale explained, he'll be in Happy Land. He'll cancel the board, promote Parker, and probably give us all a week in Honolulu. They rigged the tank and waited, as Binghamton sat in his office, fuming over Parker's files. A sweet-smelling mist began to fill the room. Carpenter, Binghamton said, his voice suddenly sounding light and airy. Why are you standing there like a statue? You look like a giant, adorable penguin. Sir. Binghamton began to giggle, a deep belly-shaking chortle. And Parker, Chucky-Wucky, you torpedoed a garbage scow? That's hilarious. The potato peels must have looked just like a submarine. Oh, I love you, Chucky-Wucky. McHale and the crew watched through the window as the captain began to dance with a mop. It's working, McHale whispered. Get the papers in there. But the timing was terrible. Admiral Shoemaker arrived for the fitness board just as Binghamton was trying to wear a wastebasket as a hat. Binghamton, the Admiral roared. What in the name of the great white fleet is going on here? Admiral Quinny Winnie. Binghamton chirped, trying to hug the stone-faced officer. Look at the window. It's stuck. Isn't that a riot? The Admiral turned to McHale. Is he drunk? Hallucination, sir, McHale said solemnly. Battle fatigue. He thinks he sees hula girls everywhere. Just then, the laughing gas wore off. Binghamton blinked, looked at the wastebasket on his head, and then at the Admiral. Admiral, I can explain. It was a frangipani flies. They invaded the base. The Admiral sighed. Binghamton, go back to the hospital. And as for Parker, any man who can stay sane while his commanding officer wears a trash can on his head is fit for duty. The fitness board is canceled. Chapter 5, Sidney the Alligator. Binghamton's next scheme was more subtle. He decided to mark 9 $100 bills and leave his wallet out as bait. I'll catch them in the act of theft, he told Carpenter. Then wham, brig time. He dropped the wallet near the crew's favorite lounging spot, but he didn't count on Sidney. Sidney was a 6-foot alligator that Parker had befriended with peanut butter sandwiches. Sidney saw the wallet, thought it looked like a very expensive snack, and promptly swallowed it. "Skipper," Parker screamed, running into McHale's shack. "Sidney ate the captain." "He what?" "Well, he ate his wallet and his ID card." Binghamton arrived, furious. "Where's my money, McHale? I know you have it." "Actually, sir," McHale said, pointing at Sidney, who was sunning himself on the dock, "Sidney stole it." "An alligator? You expect me to believe an alligator stole $900? The case went to a court-martial. Parker, acting as his own defense attorney, called Sidney as a witness. "Your Honor," Parker argued, "Sidney has had an unhappy childhood. He was confused. He thought the wallet was a sandwich." "Order," the judge yelled. "Binghamton, do you have any proof the crew took the money?" "I have the serial numbers," Binghamton shouted. Just then, Sidney let out a massive belch and coughed up the wallet right onto the judge's bench. "Exhibit A," McHale announced. The judge opened the wallet. The bills were there, but they were covered in alligator bile and marked with Carpenter's serial numbers. "Wait a minute," the judge said. "These bills are marked. Captain, you were trying to frame your own men." "No, it was a trap, a clever trap." "A trap that backfired," the judge ruled. Case dismissed. "And Captain, I suggest you find a new hobby, perhaps something that doesn't involve reptiles." Chapter 6, The New Caledonia Heist. The final act of the Terratupa drama took place in New Caledonia. Binghamton had to go to a conference and, against his better judgment, had to take McHale's boat to fetch the base payroll, $62,000 in cash. "I am not entrusting this to McHale," Binghamton told Carpenter. "Parker will fetch it, alone, through the shortcut." The shortcut involved Saloon Road, a gambling casino, and a racetrack. Parker, predictably, was hit over the head, and the money was swiped. "Skipper," Parker sobbed when he woke up, "the money's gone. All I saw was a girl's ankle." "An ankle?" "She had a birthmark, a little brown heart on her right ankle." McHale mobilized the crew. They spent the night in Numia, lifting the tablecloths of every cafe in the city. "Not a birthmark in sight, Skip," Gruber reported, exhausted. But then they spotted Binghamton and Carpenter in the city. They were on the prowl, looking for the crew to arrest them for absconding with the money. "Quick," McHale yelled, "into the alley." They spotted a group of men in a gray suit carrying a canvas bag. That's the payroll. A chase ensued through the narrow streets of Numia, involving a bicycle, a fruit stand, and a very confused French gendarme. The thieves took refuge in an old fort, where they tried to hide the money in an ancient, decorative cannon. McHale and the crew caught up to them, but Binghamton arrived at the same time. "I've got you," Binghamton screamed. "Where's the money, McHale?" "It's in the cannon, sir. The thieves put in the cannon." "A likely story. You're all under arrest." Just then, a Japanese Zero, a stray from a distant battle, swooped low over the city. "Take cover," Parker yelled. He lunged to the cannon, grabbed a match, and lit the fuse. "Parker, no. That cannon doesn't work." McHale screamed. Boom! The ancient gun roared. It didn't hit the plane, but the explosion sent a cloud of paper flying into the air. Green, crisp, $100 bills rained down over Numia like confetti. "It's manna from heaven," Gruber yelled, catching bills in his hat. "It's the payroll." Binghamton gasped, frantically grabbing at the air. As the smoke cleared, the thieves were captured, the money was mostly recovered, and McHale's Navy stood victorious once again. "Well, Captain," McHale said, handing Binghamton a slightly singed stack of bills, "I believe that's $62,000. Give or take a few that the wind caught." Binghamton looked at the money, then at the char cannon, and then at McHale's smiling face. "Why me?" he whispered to Sky. "Why is it always me?" Back on Teratupa, life returned to normal. The sinks were still backed up, the garter belts were finally delivered, and Sidney the alligator was waiting on the dock for his next peanut butter sandwich. McHale leaned back in his chair on the 73, lighting a cigar. "You know, Parker, for a pirate, you make a pretty good acting commander." "Thanks, Skip." Parker beamed. "Do you think the captain will ever forgive us?" In the distance, the sound of Binghamton's voice carried over the water, screaming something about a court-martial and a long-handled mop. "I'd say we got about 3 days of peace," McHale grinned. "Better make the most of it." The end. The Pirates of Teratupa, A Tale of Mutiny and Mischief. Chapter 1, The Tactical Tummy Ache. The South Pacific sun beat down on the island of Teratupa with the kind of relentless heat that turned a man's brain into lukewarm oatmeal. It was a place of tropical beauty, jagged coral, and the most concentrated collection of naval incompetence in the history of the United States Navy. In the center of this chaos sat Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, affectionately and accurately known by his subordinates as Old Lead Bottom. At this particular moment, Binghamton was not contemplating the war against the Japanese. He was, instead, contemplating garter belts. "Wow, wow, wow, wow," Binghamton shouted, slamming his hand onto a mahogany desk that had seen better days. "Garter belts, Carpenter. You are the supply officer here. If the nurses need garter belts, you snap to it. Shake a leg. You know what I mean." Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter, a man whose spine seemed to be made of wet cardboard whenever the captain raised his voice, nodded frantically. "Sir, yes, sir. But the sinks in the Petty Officers Club are backing up, and—" "I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber," Binghamton shrieked. He popped a pill for his indigestion. His stomach acid, currently powerful enough to dissolve a hole through the hull of a destroyer. "My stomach acid could start a Jeep. Carpenter, do you realize what a mess this place is in?" The telephone rang, a shrill sound that made Binghamton jump 3 inches off his seat. "Yes, this is Captain Binghamton. Who did you expect?" Tokyo rose. He listened for a moment, and his face transitioned from an angry red to a pale, sickly green. "What, Admiral, Iron Pants Rafferty is arriving today? On a sneak inspection?" Binghamton hung up, his hands trembling. Rafferty was a legend of discipline, a man who ate sailors for breakfast and spit out brass buttons. If he saw the state of Teratupa, Binghamton would be lucky to spend the rest of the war scrubbing decks in the Aleutians. "I'm sick, Carpenter," Binghamton whispered, his eyes widening with sudden devious spark. "Terribly sick. If I'm sick, I can appoint an acting base commander to face the Admiral, and I know just the man. Someone I want to see destroyed. Someone whose career I want to watch go up in smoke right in front of the Admiral's cold, dead eyes." "Not Julian, not Ninny," Carpenter guessed. "McHale," Binghamton roared with glee, with Quinn McHale and his band of cutthroats in charge. "They'll run wild. They'll turn this base into a circus. And Rafferty will have them all court-martialed by sunset." Binghamton collapsed onto a nearby cot, faking a faint that would have made a Victorian lady proud. "Call the medic. I'm paying." "Oh, Carpenter, I'm really going to pay." Chapter 2, Commander Snookums and the Sultan's Sword. While Binghamton was busy dying in the infirmary, the crew of the PT-73 was engaged in their favorite pastime, making money and avoiding work. Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale was a saltwater skipper through and through, a man who treated naval regulations as mere suggestions. When the news hit that McHale was now the acting base commander, the island underwent a transformation. Within 2 hours, the business of war became the business of leisure. "Skip, you can't be serious," McHale said, staring at his new desk. "I'm a boat skipper. I'm no good behind a desk." "It's an order, McHale." Binghamton groaned from his deathbed while secretly sipping a cold lemonade when no one was looking, "and I'm appointing your Ensign Parker as your executive officer." Ensign Charles Parker, a man who could trip over a flat surface, stood at attention, his hat crooked. "Oh, boy. Did you hear that, Skipper? Acting exec. You won't regret this, Captain." Binghamton grinned. "I know I won't." The chaos began immediately, with the captain incapacitated. A diplomatic crisis arrived in the form of the Sultan of Marami and his 3 beautiful daughters. The Sultan was a man of immense pride and even more immense wealth, and his visit was supposed to be a feather in the cap for Terra Tupa. McHale, trying to balance the duties of a base commander while keeping his crew from selling the bases, fuel, found himself hosting a royal dinner. However, his crew, specifically Gruber and Virgil, had other plans. They had invited some local hula dancers to liven up the atmosphere. "The party is over," McHale hissed as he burst into the Petty Officers Club, only to find a full-blown luau in progress. Iron Pants Rafferty is on his way here for inspection. If he sees these girls, we're all dead. "But Skip," Gruber pleaded, "the girls have nowhere to go." "Put them in the air raid shelter," McHale ordered. "Quick, move it." Just as the hula dancers were tucked away, the Admiral's jeep screeched to a halt. Admiral Rafferty stepped out, his eyes like 2 pieces of flint. "McHale, where's Binghamton?" "In the hospital, sir. Hallucinations. Combat fatigue." McHale lied through his teeth. Binghamton, however, wasn't staying down. He had snuck out of the hospital in a seaman's uniform, determined to catch McHale in the act. He burst into the scene, pointing wildly at the air raid shelter. "Admiral, you have to see the shelter. There are girls in there, hula girls. McHale is running an orgy." The Admiral looked at the shelter. The door opened. Out stepped Ensign Parker, carrying a stack of emergency rations, which were actually jars of peanut butter. "Girls, Captain?" Rafferty asked, his voice low and dangerous. "I see a bumbling ensign. I think McHale is right. You've lost your mind. Binghamton, back to the hospital. Now!" Binghamton was dragged away, screaming about grass skirts, while McHale wiped the sweat from his brow. Chapter 3, The Chemistry of Laughter. A week later, the threat of a fitness board loomed over Ensign Parker. Binghamton, having recovered from his hallucinations, was determined to break Parker down to seaman's second class. "The man is an imbecile," Binghamton shouted at the crew. He torpedoed a garbage scow because he thought it was a midget sub-camouflage of potato peels. The crew knew they had to save their favorite, if clumsy, officer. "We need to jolly him up," McHale suggested. If Leadbottom is in a good mood, he might cancel the hearing. "How are we going to do that, Skip?" Willie asked. Even an undertaker couldn't put a smile on his face. "Laughing gas," McHale whispered. "Compliments of the base dentist." The plan was simple. They would lure Binghamton to his office and blast him with a tank of nitrous oxide. Then, while he was giggling his head off, they'd get him to sign the cancellation papers. The operation was a symphony of absurdity. As the gas filled the room, Binghamton's frown began to twitch. Within minutes, the terrifying captain was doubling over, pointing at Parker's face. "Chucky Wucky." Binghamton howled with laughter. "You torpedoed a garbage scow. Oh, that's a riot. The potato peels. I love it." "Sir, will you sign this?" Parker asked, holding out the papers. "Sign it? I'll frame it." Binghamton giggled. But as the gas wore off, The captain's rage returned with vengeance. He realized he'd been duped. He chased McHale and Parker out of the office with a heavy wrench, screaming about frangipani flies and sabotage. The chaos was only interrupted by the arrival of the actual fitness board, led by Admiral Shoemaker. But the timing was perfect. An actual air raid siren went off. Amidst the confusion, Parker, still slightly high on the lingering gas, manned a .50 caliber machine gun and, while laughing like a maniac, managed to accidentally shoot down a Japanese Zero that was wandering too close. Heroic, Shoemaker declared, pinning a medal on a confused Parker, standing in the face of death with a laugh on his lips. Binghamton, how could you want to discharge such a man? Binghamton, unable to explain the laughing gas without looking like a fool, simply stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Why me? Why is it always me?" Chapter 4, The Ghost of Point 13. Binghamton's next plot involved a bit of psychological warfare. He decided to transfer the 73 crew to a legendary Jinx boat, the PT-13. According to naval legend, the 13 was haunted, having lost 3 crews to mysterious explosions. "I'm sending you up to conflict as couriers," Binghamton told McHale, hiding a smirk. On the 13 boat. The crew was terrified. Even McHale felt a chill. They decided they had to outghost the captain. That night, as Binghamton sat in his shack, gloating over his genius, the lights began to flicker. A low, moaning sound echoed through the jungle. "Ho, ho, ho," a voice boomed. "Who's there?" Binghamton squeaked. "We are the ghosts of PT-13. A figure in a glowing white sheet appeared in the window. It looked suspiciously like Gruber standing on Parker's shoulders. "We've come for you, Wally. You sent us to the grave." "McHale, I know it's you," Binghamton yelled, though his teeth were chattering. Suddenly, Admiral Rafferty, actually a cleverly disguised Virgil, appeared, floating, thanks to some well-hidden wires. "Binghamton, the transfers, they are a sin. Give them back to the living." Binghamton, terrified by the supernatural visitation, handed over the transfer papers through the window. "Take them. Just leave me alone." The next morning, when McHale showed up with the papers, Binghamton tried to claim he'd been robbed. But the crew simply smiled. "Gosh, Captain, sounds like you had another one of those hallucinations. Maybe we should call the Admiral back." Binghamton shut up. Chapter 5, The $62,000 Peril. The ultimate test of the PT-73's luck came during a trip to New Caledonia. Binghamton, in a rare moment of trust, which was actually a setup, ordered Parker to pick up the base payroll, $62, 000 in small unmarked bills. "Saloon Road, Parker," Binghamton had instructed. "Take the shortcut past the gambling casino and the racetrack." Binghamton was certain Parker would be robbed, giving him the perfect excuse to court-martial the entire crew for gross negligence. True to form, Parker was distracted by a girl's ankle. Specifically, a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her right ankle. He was knocked unconscious, and the money vanished. $62,000. McHale gasped when he found a weeping Parker. "Chuck, Lead Bottom is going to have us all in front of a firing squad." The crew turned into detectives. They scoured the bars and bistros of New Caledonia, looking for the girl with the heart-shaped ankle. The search involved a lot of lifting of tablecloths and very angry French waiters. "I found her, Skip," Gruber shouted, pointing to a slender brunette ducking into a shady-looking warehouse. The chase was on. It led through a series of narrow alleys and ended at a local carnival. The thieves, realizing they were being followed, stashed the money bag in an old, ornamental cannon that served as a centerpiece for the carnival. "Give it up," McHale shouted, cornering the crooks. Suddenly, Binghamton and the French police arrived. "I've got you, McHale. Where's the payroll? You stole it, didn't you?" "We didn't steal it, Captain. It's in the cannon." McHale pointed. The cannon? Ridiculous. Binghamton sneered. He walked up to the cannon, leaning over the barrel to inspect it. At that exact moment, a stray spark from a nearby vendor's fire hit the cannon's old fuse. Boom! The cannon roared. It wasn't a projectile that hit Binghamton. However, it was a blizzard of green paper. $62,000 rained down upon the street, covering the captain from head to toe. Binghamton sat on the ground, $100 bill stuck to his singed eyebrows. Manna from heaven, Captain. McHale laughed, grabbing a handful of cash. Every cent is here, sir. Parker cheered, dancing around. 42,000. 42,001. Binghamton looked at the money. He looked at McHale. He looked at the French police, who were busy pocketing evidence. McHale, Binghamton whispered, his voice cracking. I want a transfer. Not for you. For me. To a quiet desk in the Pentagon. Without any cannons. Without any pirates. And especially, without any ensigns. McHale grinned, leaning back against the PT-73. Now, Captain, you know you'd miss us. Who else would keep your stomach acid churning? As the sun set over the Pacific, the crew of the 73 headed back to their boat, richer in spirit, and perhaps a few $100s they forgot to count, ready for another day of the best war they ever had. The Pirates of Taratupa. A novel of naval misadventure. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis. The South Pacific sun beat down on the island of Taratupa with a kind of oppressive heat that could melt the resolve of even the most dedicated sailor. But Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, the base commander, didn't have resolve. He had an ulcer, and that ulcer was currently screaming. Binghamton stood in his office, his face a shade of purple usually reserved for tropical fruit. Before him stood the supply officer, a man who looked like he had been born in a filing cabinet and raised on ink. Wow, 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 wow. Binghamton barked, pacing the floor so aggressively that his floorboards groaned in sympathy. Garter belts. You are the supply officer here, man. If the nurses need garter belts. You snap to it. You shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. The supply officer blinked, looking confused. Binghamton ignored him. He looked out the window toward the nearby island where Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale and his crew, the 7-3 gang, were likely currently roasting a stolen pig or running a floating casino. Everything is on my shoulders, Binghamton moaned, clutching his midsection. The sinks in the Petty Officers Club are backing up. I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. And now this. He dropped a message onto his desk as if it were a live grenade. Admiral Rafferty is arriving today on a sneak inspection. Iron Pants Rafferty, do you realize what a mess this place is in? If he sees McHale's cutthroats running wild. I'm finished. My career will be flatter than a squash jellyfish. His sycophantic aide, Lieutenant Carpenter, hovered nearby, looking concerned. Sir, please, take it easy on those pills. You know how they give you indigestion. I don't care. Binghamton roared. In fact, I hope I get sick. If I were sick, I could appoint an acting base commander to face the admiral while I hide in the infirmary. A slow, devious smile spread across Binghamton's face. It was the look of a man who had just found a way to commit professional suicide and blame someone else. Wait a minute. If I'm sick, I can appoint McHale as acting base commander. He'll run this place into the ground right in front of the admiral. They'll destroy themselves. It's brilliant. Chapter 2, The Happy Illness. By the time McHale arrived at the hospital, Binghamton was putting on a performance that would have made a Shakespearean actor weep. He was draped across a bed, groaning like a rusty hinge. Oh, McHale, I'm in bad shape. Binghamton wheezed. The doctors, they don't know what it is. I'm appointing you acting base commander. McHale, a rugged man with a permanent, I know where the best room is, look on his face, squinted. Me, Captain? You must be kidding. I'm a saltwater skipper. I'd be no good behind a desk. And I'm appointing Ensign Parker here as your executive officer, Binghamton added, pointing to bumbling, wide-eyed youth standing behind McHale. Parker's face lit up like a Christmas tree. Oh, boy, did you hear that, Skipper? Acting executive officer. You'll never regret this, Captain. Binghamton closed his eyes, hiding the gleam of malicious joy. I know I won't. Now, out! Go take command. As soon as the door clicked shut, McHale sighed. Parker, we're in trouble. Binghamton is up to something. Trouble? Skipper? We got a base to run. Think of the paperwork. The logistics. The garter belts. The next few hours were a whirlwind of administrative disaster. McHale found himself staring at a telephone that wouldn't stop ringing. The sinks were still backed up. The garter belts had finally arrived, looking suspiciously like slingshots. And the Seabees were accidentally building an air raid shelter in the middle of a rifle range. Parker, McHale shouted over the din, where are the boys? They're throwing a little shindig to celebrate your promotion. Skipper, I told them full speed ahead. You told them what? McHale's eyes widened. Iron Pants Rafferty is on his way, if he sees a hula party on the base. We're all going to be scrubbing decks in the Arctic. Chapter 3, Hula Girls and Bomb Shelters. The sound of ukuleles and laughter echoed through the trees. The crew of the PT-73 had turned the base into a tropical paradise, complete with grass skirts and questionable punch. The Admiral is landing, Christie yelled, running from the radar hut. Move it, boys, McHale commanded. Get these girls into the air raid shelter. Hide the ukuleles. Parker, look official. Parker tried to look official by accidentally putting on a native lei over his uniform. Just as the last grass skirt vanished into the concrete bunker, a jeep screeched to a halt. Out stepped Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty, a man whose face looked like it had been carved out of a very angry rock. At ease, Rafferty growled. Where's Captain Binghamton? In the hospital, sir, McHale said, saluting with the gravity of a man facing a firing squad. Acting Base Commander McHale at your service. Rafferty looked McHale up and down. He then looked at Parker. And what is that around your neck, Ensign? Parker looked down at the bright pink flowers. Oh, it's an old native custom, sir, to welcome the sea gods. Nonsense, Rafferty snapped. Take me to the captain. Then I want a full inspection. They marched to the hospital, where Binghamton was waiting like a spider in a web. As soon as the Admiral entered, Binghamton began his hallucination routine. Admiral, you have to go to the air raid shelter. Binghamton cried. McHale has hula girls hidden in there. Right now. It's disgraceful. Rafferty frowned. Hula girls? In a combat zone? McHale, is this true? McHale looked at the Admiral with pure, feigned innocence. Sir, the captain has been under a lot of strain. He's seeing things. Hallucinations. I am not. Binghamton shrieked. I saw them. Elroy, tell him. Carpenter nodded frantically. Oh, he's right, sir. A regular Roman orgy. Rafferty looked at the calm, professional-looking McHale, and then at the screaming, manic Binghamton, who was currently trying to climb out of bed in his underwear. Binghamton, get back in bed, Rafferty ordered. McHale, let's proceed with the inspection. We'll start with the laundry. The laundry? Binghamton yelled. No, the shelter. Look in the shelter. But the pirates of the 73 were faster. By the time the Admiral reached the air raid shelter, the girls had been funneled through the back and into the laundry, and then out of the laundry and back into the bushes. Every time Binghamton pointed at a girl, she vanished. There, in the closet. Binghamton screamed, throwing open his hospital closet door. Out stepped a nurse, perfectly in uniform, holding a thermometer. Captain, please, the nurse said. It's time for your sedative. Binghamton collapsed into his chair. He had been outplayed by a man who didn't even wear socks with his shoes. Chapter 4. The Sultan of Marami. Peace lasted exactly 48 hours on Teratupa. It was broken by a call from the Pentagon. A sultan? Binghamton asked, his voice trembling with excitement. The Sultan of Marami is coming here with his 3 daughters, the princesses. The Admiral wants 100% effort, Carpenter said, polishing Binghamton's medals. It's a diplomatic mission, sir. If we impress the Sultan, we secure the island of Marami for the Navy. Binghamton's eyes gleamed. I'll show them what a real commander looks like. I'll send McHale and his riffraff on a fake recon. Mission to Aku Aku. Get them off the base. But the universe had other plans. The Sultan's plane developed engine trouble and was forced down near the island of Samura, exactly, where McHale's PT-73 was patrolling. Greetings, Your Highness, McHale said, helping the Sultan aboard the greasy, oil-slick deck of the torpedo boat. The Sultan was a magnificent man in flowing robes. Behind him stood 3 women veiled in silk. I am Kareem. These men, are they to be trusted with my priceless cargo? Wowie, wow, wow, Parker exclaimed, staring at the princesses. The Sultan stiffened. What did he say? McHale stepping quickly. It's a ceremonial greeting, Your Highness, in our country. It means the moon is beautiful in your eyes. Wowie, wow, wow, the Sultan repeated, nodding. Very well. Proceed. By the time the boat reached the main base, the Sultan was so thrilled by the ride that he insisted McHale be the guest of honor at the welcome. Dinner. Binghamton was forced to grit his teeth and smile, while McHale sat next to royalty. However, the night took a turn for the surreal. One of the princesses, Siri, had taken a liking to Parker's bumbling charm. They had sneaked away for a boat ride, leaving a replacement in her place, a sailor in a veil. Binghamton, convinced that McHale was hiding a phony Balinese bunny among the princesses to sabotage the dinner, decided to take action. He approached the youngest princess and grabbed her veil. I've got you, you phony, Binghamton yelled, pulling. The veil came away to reveal the Sultan's actual daughter. Captain, the Sultan roared, standing up and drawing a ceremonial sword. You have debased the dignity of my house. You are a stupid infidel. I thought she was an ensign. Binghamton stammered, backing away. You thought my daughter was a sailor? The Sultan's face turned a dangerous shade of red. I shall report this to Washington. My princesses shall dance no more for you. As the Sultan marched away, Binghamton fell into a punch bowl. McHale leaned over him, shaking his head. Tough luck, Captain. Maybe you should have used the wowie wow wow greeting. Chapter 5. The Laughing Gas Incident. I'm bringing the hammer down, Binghamton declared a week later. Parker's fitness board is tomorrow. I'm going to have him broken to Seaman's second class. So fast his head will spin. The crew of the 73 sat in their shack, looking gloomy. We can't let Mr. Parker get railroaded, Gruber said. He's a bumber, but he's our bumber. We need to get the captain in a good mood, McHale mused. But how do you make a man laugh who has a heart made of coal flint? Laughing gas, Willie suggested. The dentist's office just got a fresh tank of nitrous oxide. The plan was simple. They would sneak the gas into the captain's office via the ventilation system just before the fitness board convened. The next morning, Binghamton sat at his desk, ready to destroy Parker's career. Suddenly, a sweet metallic smell filled the room. Now, Ensign Parker, Binghamton began, regarding the incident where you torpedoed the garbage scow. He paused. A giggle escaped his lips. The garbage scow. It had potato peels on it. Binghamton started to laugh. It wasn't a normal laugh. It was a high-pitched, hysterical cackle. And you thought it was a submarine. Oh, Parker, you're a riot. You're a scream. Sir, Parker asked, blinking. I love you, Parker. You're my Chucky Wucky. Binghamton jumped up and tried to hug him. Let's cancel the fitness board. Let's throw a party. Let's go swimming with the nurses. Just then, the air raid siren began to wail. A real Japanese scouting plane was overhead. Invaders! Binghamton cheered, still high on the gas. Look at the pretty planes. They look like flies. Frangipani flies. Geronimo! He ran out into the courtyard, waving a wrench and blowing kisses at the sky. Admiral Shoemaker, who had arrived to oversee the board, watched in horror as the base commander danced a jig during a combat alert. Binghamton, what is the meaning of this? Shoemaker yelled. Hi, Shoiwowie. Binghamton chirped, pinching the admiral's cheek. You're a barrel of fun. While Binghamton was busy assaulting the admiral with affection, Parker accidentally tripped over a machine gun mount. The gun went off, firing a wild burst into the sky. By some miracle of physics and luck, the bullet struck the engine of the enemy plane. It spiraled down and crashed into the lagoon. He did it! Shoemaker gasped. Ensign Parker stood his ground and laughed in the face of death. He's a hero. Of course he is. Binghamton laughed, collapsing onto a pile of sandbags. He's my best friend. Doot, doot. By the time the gas wore off, Parker had been awarded a commendation for bravery, and Binghamton had a headache that lasted for 3 days and an official reprimand for unprofessional conduct with superior officer. Chapter 6, The New Caledonia Payroll. The final straw came when the base payroll went missing. $62,000. Binghamton screamed, and I sent Parker to pick it up. I was a fool. I was a madman. The crew had been in New Caledonia for a brief leave. Parker, while carrying the payroll bag, had been distracted by a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle and had promptly been mugged by a group of local thugs. We have to find that money, Skip, Parker sobbed. Binghamton will have me in the brig until the year 2000. The crew spent the next 12 hours scouring the back alleys of New Caledonia. They weren't looking for the money. They were looking for an ankle. I found her, Gruber yelled, pointing to a cafe. The girl with the heart. But the girl wasn't a thief. She was a girlfriend of a local gangster who had stashed the payroll bag inside an old, decorative cannon in the town square, intending to retrieve it after the heat died down. Binghamton and the local police arrived just as McHale's crew reached the cannon. Aha! Binghamton cried. Caught you red-handed. You're trying to steal the cannon now. Captain, the money is inside. McHale shouted. Likely story. Arrest them. In confusion, Parker accidentally bumped into the cannon. It was an antique, but it was still loaded with a ceremonial powder charge. The impact triggered the fuse. Boom! The cannon roared, but instead of a cannonball, a massive cloud of green paper exploded into the air. $62,000 rained down on the town square like confetti. Binghamton stood frozen as a $100 bill drifted down and landed on his nose. My money, he whispered. It's manna from heaven. Actually, sir, it's the payroll from the cannon, McHale said, casually catching a stack of 20s. I told you Parker was a crack shot. Epilogue, the eternal struggle. Back on Terratupa, the dust had finally settled. McHale and his men were back at their island. The ukuleles were playing and a pig was roasting. In his office, Captain Binghamton sat staring at his reflection in a trophy. He looked at his singed eyebrows, his graying hair, and the stack of garter belt requisitions on his desk. Sir, Carpenter whispered, the petty officers' club sinks are backing up again. Binghamton didn't scream. He didn't pace. He simply reached into his drawer, took out a bottle of indigestion pills, and swallowed 3. McHale, he whispered to the empty room. One of these days, McHale, one of these days. And out on the lagoon, the PT-73 roared to life. Its wake cutting a white line across the blue water, heading toward another adventure that would undoubtedly make the captain's blood boil once again. The Pirates of Taratupa, The Untold Chronicles of the Point 73. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Captain's Gastric Distress. The sun over the Pacific island of Taratupa didn't just shine. It leaned against you like a sweaty, unwelcome relative. It was the kind of heat that turned a starched uniform into a wet rag in under 3 minutes. And for Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, affectionately known by his men as Old Lee Bottom, the heat was the least of his problems. Binghamton sat behind his desk, his face a shade of crimson that suggested either a looming stroke or a very specific type of tropical fever. He was currently staring at a supply manifest that made no sense in the context of a global conflict. Wow! Binghamton whispered to the empty room. Wow, wow, wow. Garter belts. He looked up at his supply officer, who was vibrating with the kind of nervous energy usually reserved for small dogs during a thunderstorm. You are the supply officer here, are you not? If the nurses need garter belts, then you snap to it. You shake a leg. I mean, you know what I mean. We are fighting a war, and I am being buried in requests for hosiery support. Everything, it seemed, was on Binghamton's shoulders. The sinks in the Petty Officers Club were backing up with a smell that could peel paint. Tokyo Rose was probably making fun of him on the radio. And then the ultimate disaster struck in the form of a message from the Admiral's office. Admiral Rafferty. Binghamton choked out, clutching his stomach. Iron Pants Rafferty is arriving today on a sneak inspection. The captain's stomach acid, which he frequently claimed could start a diesel engine, began to churn. Rafferty was a man who considered a loose button on a uniform to be a court-martial offense. Taratupa, by contrast, was a sprawling mess of unauthorized poker games, home to still moonshine, and a PT boat crew that treated the Navy regulations as a book of polite suggestions. Sir, take it easy on those pills, Lieutenant Carpenter urged, watching the captain down a handful of white tablets. You know they give you indigestion. I don't care, Binghamton wailed. If I get sick enough, I can appoint an acting base commander. Let someone else face the Iron Pants. Let someone else. Explain why the sinks smell like a dead whale's locker. A slow, devious smile spread across the captain's face, a look that usually preceded a disaster for everyone. Else, wait a minute. If I was sick, I could appoint. McHale. The idea was brilliant in its malice. With Commander Quentin McHale and his band of cutthroats in charge, they would surely run wild. They would fend the Admiral, break every rule in the book, and destroy themselves within the hour. Binghamton would be safely tucked in a hospital bed, watching the fireworks from a distance. I do look sort of sick, don't I, Carpenter? Terribly sick, sir, Carpenter agreed, playing along. I'll call the medic. Carmen, hurry. The captain is paying. I mean, he's in pain. Chapter 2. The Acting Base Commander. Commander McHale arrived at the captain's quarters to find Binghamton sprawled on a cot, looking like a man who had seen a ghost, or perhaps just his own reflection after a long night. Oh, hi, Captain, McHale said, his voice brimming with a casualness that always made Binghamton's blood pressure spike. What's wrong, sir? I'm in bad shape, McHale, Binghamton moaned, his voice a faint rasp. The medics, they don't know what it is. I have to appoint an acting base commander, someone I can trust. McHale nodded solemnly. I understand, sir. Rest assured, my boys and I will give Lieutenant Carpenter all the help he... No, 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 Binghamton barked, briefly forgetting to be sick. Carpenter is a boob. I'm appointing you, McHale. You're in charge. McHale blinked. Me? Sir, I'm a saltwater skipper. I'd be no good behind a desk. I'd probably accidentally declare war on a neutral island just try and find the stapler. That's an order, McHale. Go to my office. Take command this minute. And so, the unthinkable happened. The inmates were given the keys to the asylum. Within 30 minutes of McHale taking the desk, the office of the base commander looked less like a military headquarters and more like a chaotic flea market. Executive Officer Parker here. Ensign Parker shouted into the phone, his hat tilted at an angle that defied the laws of physics. What? The sinks? Oh! Tell the petty officers to use the ocean. We've found the garter belts. Yes, ma'am, they're on the way. Meanwhile, the crew of the PT-73, Gruber, Virgil, and the rest saw the change in management as a divine mandate for profit. The skip said full speed ahead. Gruber announced to the men, he wants action. We're opening shop. Get the girls, get the booze, get the lawnmower. We're throwing the wingding of the century. Chapter 3, The Sultan and the Royal Ruse. Just as McHale was settling into the idea that base command might involve more paperwork and less fun than he'd anticipated, the stakes were raised. It wasn't just an admiral visiting. It was the Sultan of Marami and his 3 princesses. The Sultan's plane had developed engine trouble near the island of Samura. Binghamton, still recovering in the hospital, saw another opportunity to bury McHale. He sent the PT-73 to rescue them, hoping the crew's lack of decorum would cause an international incident. McHale, however, was a master of improvised diplomacy. Greetings, Your Highness, McHale said, bowing as the Sultan stepped onto the deck of the PT-73. I am Commander McHale. We are here to serve you. The Sultan, a man of immense dignity and even more immense cargo, looked around skeptically. Are these men to be trusted with my most valuable possessions? Wow, 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 Ensign Parker whispered as the princesses stepped into view. Like a chicken. The Sultan's brow furrowed. What did he say? It's a ceremonial greeting, Your Highness. McHale lied smoothly, stepping on Parker's foot. In our country, it signifies the utmost respect. It means, may your kingdom be as resilient as the noble fowl. I see, the Sultan said, pacified. Very well, I wish to handle this craft. It seems most amusing. Disaster nearly struck when the Sultan took the wheel and headed straight for a coral reef. But McHale's quick thinking saved the day. The Sultan was so impressed that he insisted on a grand dinner back at the base. This posed a problem for Binghamton, who had intended to keep McHale far away from the Sultan. But the Sultan wouldn't have it. He wanted his friend McHale there. The night of the dinner was a comedy of errors. Binghamton, convinced that McHale was hiding hula girls in the air raid shelter to entertain the Sultan, an activity strictly forbidden by the Navy, went on a frantic search. In his desperation, he managed to get himself trapped in a series of disguises, eventually ending up in a closet wearing a seaman's uniform. While Ensign Parker, in a moment of sheer desperation to hide the crew's actual unauthorized party, disguised himself as a 4th princess. That's a very muscular princess, Binghamton noted, squinting through the closet door. She's the athletic one, sir, McHale explained, sweat pouring down his face. She does a lot of shot putting. Chapter 4, Laughing Gas and the Fitness Board. Binghamton had finally had enough. The Sultan incident had somehow made McHale look good, and the captain's blood pressure was reaching critical levels. He decided to strike at the weakest link, Ensign Parker. I'm requesting a fitness board, Binghamton announced, a predatory glint in his eye. Parker is a disgrace. He torpedoed a garbage scow. He shot down a target plane during a drill. I'm going to have him broken down to Seaman 2nd class, so fast his head will spin. The crew was devastated. Parker was a klutz, but he was their klutz. They needed a plan. What about the laughing gas? McHale suggested, recalling his recent trip to the dentist. Laughing gas, Skip? Gruber asked. You mean nitrous oxide? Exactly. If Binghamton is in a good mood, he might cancel the board If he's in a really good mood, he might promote Parker to admiral. The plan was executed with military precision, or at least the PT-73 version of it. They piped the gas to the window of Binghamton's office while he was reviewing Parker's dismal record. July 16th, Binghamton began, his voice suddenly sounding light and airy. During gunnery drill, he shot down a target. Ha! Ha! Binghamton began to giggle. The giggle turned into a roar. A garbage scowl. He thought it was a nip-sub camouflage with potato peels. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Chucky Wucky. Come here, you little potato peel. The fitness board arrived to find the base commander dancing on his desk, calling everyone Bingy Wingy, and trying to put a medal on a stray cat. The captain seems spirited. Admiral Shoemaker noted, raising an eyebrow. Just then, a real air raid siren blared. Parker, still high on the residual fumes and trying to be helpful, stumbled out to a machine gun mount. In a haze of nitrous-induced euphoria, he closed his eyes and pulled the trigger. Bam! A Japanese Zero, flying low and fast, flew right into his line of fire and disintegrated. Magnificent! Shoemaker shouted. The lad stood laughing in the face of death. He's a combat hero. Binghamton, coming down from his high, could only watch in horror as Parker was hailed as a legend. Why me? He whispered. Why is it always me? Chapter 5. Sidney the Alligator. Life on Terratupa settled back into its usual rhythm of petty crime and island lounging until the crew acquired a new member, Sidney. Sidney was an alligator. He was also, according to Parker, a gourmet. He loves my mother's peanut butter sandwiches. Skip, Parker explained as the 6-foot reptile sunned itself on the dock. He's a friendly alligator. Friendly? McHale asked. He looks like he's calculating the nutritional value of my left leg. But Sidney proved his worth when Binghamton tried to frame the crew for the theft of $900 from his wallet. The captain had marked the bills and, accidentally, dropped his wallet where the crew would find it. Sidney, however, found it first. The alligator didn't just find the wallet, he swallowed it. The ensuing court-martial was a masterpiece of the absurd. Parker, acting as his own defense attorney, called Sidney to the stand. I object! Binghamton screamed. You can't call an alligator as a witness. I'm not calling him a witness, sir, Parker said. I'm calling him evidence. Sidney, open up. After a tense moment and a well-placed peanut butter sandwich, Sidney coughed up the wallet. It was covered in alligator bile. But the marked bills were still there, along with Binghamton's ID card. It was a trap. McHale shouted. The captain tried to frame us. The judge advocate looked at the bile-soaked money, and then at Binghamton, who was currently trying to climb a pole to get away from Sidney. Case dismissed, the judge ruled. And Captain, do something about your reptilian obsession. Chapter 6. The Jinx of PT-13. Binghamton's next plot was psychological. He discovered an old report stating that the PT-73 had actually been commissioned as a PT-13A, boat cursed with bad luck. You're on a Jinx ship, McHale, Binghamton gloated, having changed the numbers on the hull overnight. The first crew drowned. The second crew exploded. It's only a matter of time for you. The crew, normally skeptical, was surprisingly superstitious. Friday the 13th, Virgil whispered. And the boat's number is 13. We're doomed. McHale knew he had to break the spell. He decided to play Binghamton at his own game. That night, the crew rigged the boat with pulleys, speakers, and glowing phosphorus. When Binghamton and Carpenter came to gloat, the boat began to act haunted. The engines started by themselves. Glowing figures appeared on the deck. I am the ghost of PT-13. A voice boomed from the speakers, which sounded suspiciously like Gruber, through a megaphone, and I have come from the man who changed the numbers. Binghamton, who was not a brave man at the best of times, fled into the night, screaming about spectral pirates. By the next morning, the hull was painted back to 73, and the jinx was forgotten. Chapter 7, The New Caledonia Payroll Heist. The final act of the Taratupa Chronicles took place in New Caledonia. Binghamton, in a rare moment of trust, ordered McHale's crew to pick up the base payroll, $62, 000 in small, unmarked bills. Take the shortcut. Binghamton had instructed Parker over the radio, past a gambling casino, just before the racetrack. It was, of course, a setup. Binghamton hoped they would be tempted to steal it. Parker, however, didn't steal it. He was genuinely mugged. I saw a girl's ankle skip, Parker sobbed after waking up in an alley. She had a heart-shaped birthmark on her right ankle, and then everything went black. The crew went on a frantic search through the streets of Numia. They checked every table at the cafes, peered under every skirt, leading to several slaps and one brief chase by a French policeman, and finally tracked the thieves to an abandoned warehouse. The thieves were a group of local gangsters who had stashed the money inside an old, vintage cannon. "We'll never get out," Virgil cried as the gangsters closed in. "Binghamton is right behind us." Just then, a Japanese Zero, a stray from a distant battle, spotted the group and began a strafing run. The gangsters fled, but the PT-73 crew stood their ground. "The cannon!" McHale shouted. "Light the fuse, Parker." "But Skip, it's an antique. It doesn't work." "Light it anyway." Parker struck a match. The cannon roared, not with a ball, but with a force of $62,000. A literal cloud of money exploded into the air, raining down on the quay just as Binghamton arrived in his Jeep. "What is this?" Binghamton gasped as a $20 bill hit him in the eye. "Manna from heaven?" "No, sir," McHale said, casually catching a $100 bill. "It's the payroll. We were just airing it out. It got a bit damp." Binghamton looked at the money, then at McHale, then at the smoking cannon. 42,365. Binghamton began to count, his shoulders slumping. 42,366. As the sun set over the Pacific, the PT-73 headed back toward Taratupa. They had no medals, their uniforms were torn, and they were probably going to be in trouble for something by tomorrow morning. But as McHale looked at his crew, his pirates, he knew that as long as they had each other, a fast boat, and a steady supply of peanut butter for the alligator, they were the richest men in the Navy. "Hey, Skip," Parker shouted from the bow. "I think I see a black cat on the horizon." McHale sighed and leaned back against the rail. "Full speed ahead, Parker. Full speed ahead." Epilogue, the fallback note. The Pirates of Taratupa. A tale of Lead Bottom and the PT-73. Chapter 1. The acidic rain of Iron Pants Rafferty. The South Pacific sun was not merely a celestial body. On the island of Taratupa, it was a personal enemy. It beat down with a humid intensity that turned the air into a thick soup of diesel fumes, salt spray, and the faint, sweet scent of rotting coconuts. In the center of this tropical pressure cooker sat the headquarters of Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, a man whose stomach acid was currently volatile enough to power a light tank. "Wow! Wow! Wow! Wow!" Binghamton muttered, staring at a requisition form as if it were a death warrant. He looked up at his adjutant, the perpetually nervous Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter. "Garter belts, Carpenter. The nurses need garter belts. And you, as a supply officer, are standing there looking like a confused penguin instead of snapping to it." "I'm shaking a leg, sir. Truly," Carpenter stammered. "Don't shake it at me. Move it." Binghamton barked. He rubbed his temples. "Everything is on my shoulders. The war, the logistics, the plumbing, and the petty officers' club. And now this." He pointed to a message on his desk. His face transitioned from a pale executive white to a shade of crimson usually reserved for emergency flares. Admiral Iron Pants Rafferty. He's coming. A sneak inspection. Today. Oh, no, Carpenter gasped. Not Iron Pants. He's the toughest nut in the Navy. He's more than a nut, Carpenter. He's a sledgehammer, Binghamton groaned, clutching his stomach. And look at this place. It's a mess. The sinks are backing up. The men are half-dressed. And then there's McHale, that pirate and his band of cutthroats. The telephone rang, a jarring sound that made Binghamton jump 3 inches off his chair. He snatched it up. Hello. Yes. This is Captain Binghamton. Who did you expect? Tokyo Rose? The sinks? I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Fix them yourself. He slammed the phone down and reached for a bottle of white pills. My stomach, it's like a car battery in there. Please, sir, take it easy on those, Carpenter pleaded. They give you terrible indigestion. Binghamton paused, a wicked light entering his eyes. Indigestion? No, Carpenter. They give me an opportunity. He leaned back, a sneer forming. If I were truly sick, dangerously ill, I couldn't possibly host the Admiral. I'd have to appoint an acting base commander to face the music. And who better to face the wrath of Iron Pants than the man? Who deserves to be court-martialed anyway? You don't mean Quentin McHale? Exactly. I'll appoint McHale. He and his brigands will run wild. Destroy the base's reputation in 10 minutes. And Rafferty will have them all in the brig before sunset. It's brilliant. Carpenter. I feel fever coming on. Quick, call the medic. On the double. Binghamton threw himself onto his cot, moaning with theatrical gusto. Oh, the pain! I'm going to pay. I'm going to pay. Chapter 2. The Roman Orgy of PT-73. Down at the lagoon, the crew of the PT-73 was enjoying what they called combat readiness, which mostly involved sunbathing, illegal stills, and a localized gambling ring. Commander Quentin McHale, a man whose uniform was more a suggestion than a requirement, sat with his executive officer, Ensign Charles Parker. Parker was currently trying to explain why he had accidentally ordered 500 pounds of peanut butter instead of ammunition. It's an easy mistake, Skipper, Parker said, wiping his thick glasses. The codes are very similar. Parker, if the Japanese attack with crackers, we're in great shape, McHale sighed. Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Carpenter, who looked like he had just seen a ghost. Commander, the captain, he's terribly ill. He's appointing you acting base commander. McHale blinked. Me? Is he delirious? Wait, don't answer that. Within the hour, McHale and a very confused Parker were standing in Binghamton's office. The captain lay in bed, looking sick in the way an actor in a bad silent movie looks sick. McHale, I'm in bad shape, Binghamton whispered. I need someone I can trust. Someone with grit. You're in charge. And Parker, you're the acting executive officer. Oh, boy, did you hear that, Skipper? Parker beamed. You won't regret this, sir. As soon as they left, Binghamton sat bolt upright, a predatory grin on his face. They're going to turn this place into a Roman orgy, and Rafferty is going to see every bit of it. He wasn't wrong. Within 2 hours, McHale had authorized a shindig for the boys. The Petty Officers Club was hosting a hula dance competition, and the missing garter belts had finally been found and distributed, mostly to the nurses who were currently dancing on the tables. Skip, the boys want to rake in some dough with a little gambling action. Gruber, the crew's resident entrepreneur, suggested. McHale, distracted by a dozen ringing phones and a plumbing crisis, waved a hand. Full speed ahead, Gruber. Just keep it down. But the peace didn't last. The radar room buzzed. Admiral Rafferty's plane was touching down. Iron Pants. McHale shouted. Panic stations. Parker, get those girls out of here. Hide the booze. Hide the hula dancers. Where, Skip? The air raid shelter. Move. The transition from island party to strict naval base happened with the speed of a torpedo. Launch. By the time Rafferty's Jeep pulled up, McHale was standing at rigid attention, though he was accidentally wearing a lei around his neck. "Welcome to Terratupa, sir." McHale saluted. "Acting Base Commander McHale at your service." Rafferty, a man whose face appeared to be carved out of granite, stared at the lei. "What the devil is that thing around your neck?" "An old native custom, sir. Welcoming ceremony." Parker chimed in. "Hanson, stop that gibberish," Rafferty snapped. "I want to see Binghamton, and then I want to see this base." Binghamton, hearing the Admiral's arrival, decided to double down. He stayed in the hospital, but he couldn't resist the urge to plant a seed of destruction. When Rafferty visited his bedside, Binghamton whispered, "Admiral, you must check the air raid shelter. It's disgraceful. McHale, he's got hula girls in. There." Rafferty's eyes narrowed. He marched to the shelter, followed by a sweating McHale and Parker. "Open it," Rafferty ordered. Parker fumbled with the keys. Inside, 30 hula dancers and several cases of illegal gin were huddled in the dark. But McHale was faster. He whispered to the girls to act like they were part of fire drill. When the door opened, the girls marched out in perfect formation, led by a nurse carrying a bucket. "Fire drill 100% successful, sir," Parker shouted. Rafferty looked at Binghamton, who had followed them in his pajamas. "Binghamton, you're delirious. Hula girls? These are nurses doing their duty. Get back to bed before I have you. Committed for combat fatigue." Binghamton screamed as he was dragged away. They were dancing. I saw them wiggling. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Masquerade. Peace returned to Terratupa for exactly 12 minutes. Then a new message arrived. The Sultan of Marami and his 3 daughters were arriving. They had been forced down by engine trouble, and the Navy wanted to make a feather in their cap by hosting them. Binghamton, recovered from his illness, but more obsessed than ever with destroying McHale, saw another chance.